ABC Sports. Join us this February when the world comes to America for the 1980 Winter Olympics.
In 1977, Denver had to beat Pittsburgh to get to the Super Bowl, and they did it by pressurizing Bradshaw and with the hawk-like play of linebackers like Tommy Jackson. And they did it with offense, too, like Morton hitting Riley Odoms for a touchdown. So, Denver 34, Pittsburgh 21, but that was 77. Last year, Pittsburgh had to beat Denver if Pittsburgh was to get to the Super Bowl, and they did it with bone-crushing play, as you saw there, containing Norris Weiss, and again, as you see there. And they did it, too, with an offense that protected Bradshaw. Plenty of time. Scramble a bit, but able to throw downfield for a score like this one to the brilliant John Stallworth. Touchdown. And so last year, it was Pittsburgh over Denver. The score 33-10. Now tonight, these two rivals, top teams, top contenders, each dreaming of Super Bowl, meet again on Monday Night Football.
20 seconds to air. Stand by, all cameras.
Ready.
Stand by in videotape.
Ready.
Stand by slow-mo.
Ready.
Stand by to open your mics on the field.
Steady.
Stand by in graphics. Ready with your opening super.
Ready.
Stand by the announcers in the booth, please. And roll tape.
Rolling.
3, 2, 1. Take tape.
From Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. The Denver Broncos against the Pittsburgh Steelers. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by Datsun, who invites you to test drive the all-new, bold-new Datsun pickups for 1980. They'll pick you up like never before. And by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
Again, everyone, the noise is deafening. You can hear it for yourselves. The atmosphere in this town, which they now call Titletown, is festive. There is still the hangover from the brilliant World Series victory. The Bucs indeed went all the way. And now the reigning champions of the Super Bowl, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the mighty ones, they want them to go all the way to get back to form. And they know that tonight is a critical night. All you have to do is look at the standings of the AFC Central and the AFC West. In the AFC Central, for example, the Pittsburgh Steelers, if they win tonight, are still in first place. They're in first place by a half game, but a loss would tie them with Houston, which lost yesterday, and Cleveland, which won yesterday. But the Denver Broncos have their own axe to grind. Look at the AFC West. San Diego, a newfound powerhouse in the NFL at 6-2, coming off the rout of Los Angeles yesterday. But if the Bronx can win tonight, they tie the Chargers. The Bronx do have a quarterback problem. I don't know of a man better qualified in the United States to discuss that, since one of the persons involved is a former friend and teammate than the old Dandaroo, Don Meredith.
Let me see if I can do it. You know, the thing that's kind of interesting, I guess, when you look at the championship teams, the Super Bowl teams, almost always they go and say, what brung us here? And usually it's the defense. And I guess in Denver's case, that was true, too. But the quarterback at that time, when Denver went to the Super Bowl to play Dallas, was Craig Martin, an old teammate of mine, and actually he's a very good quarterback. Last year, there was some doubt about his maneuverability. Can he move back in that pocket? And he really couldn't move too well. But they said, we got another guy that can, Norris Weiss. He's actually a defensive back, but, man, he can play quarterback. And sure enough, he could. Now, the early part of this season, Norris Weiss was their starting pitcher, and Craig Martin was the relief man. Norris is suffering from a knee injury, and last week Craig led his teammate over a victory to Kansas City, threw over 200 yards, completed 17 balls, and it's been a very well-guarded secret as who's going to start tonight, Norris, Weiss, or Craig Morton. Well, I want you to know that this reporter is telling you, the inside tip, it looks like Craig Morton. I think they'd like to have Norris Weiss's maneuverability, but Craig can throw the ball, and it looks like he's going to be the quarterback. How about that one? Shake him up. Huh?
What brung us here? You're more country than you will ever
That's right.
admit.
Well, you go to the one, you dance with the one that brung you. That's it.
No problems at the quarterback spot for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have Terry Bradshaw, but they're coming off a game against Cincinnati where they turned the ball over 9 times. You'll never win a football game, and they did not. They lost 34-10. They'd like to regroup. The Steelers' problem, like so many teams in the NFL, has been that of injuries. And let's take a look at the injuries that have occurred just at the offensive unit of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Expected back tonight, Lynn Swann. We are told that he'll come in perhaps in the second series. Some of these players are coming back. Defensively, they have also had their problems. We'll probably see Ron Johnson back at the left corner. There is some concern, and Ernie, we talked to Lynn Swann and asked him about that concern over the Steelers. Here's his answer.
Well, I could say I think we're in good shape, and we just have to stick to basics now, what we're good at, and not worry too much about what the other teams do. John Wooden said once about his great basketball teams that we're so good that everyone knows exactly what we're going to do. It's just up to them to stop us, and I think our team is that strong.
So it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Super Bowl champion Steelers, against the Denver Broncos, and we'll be back with the kickoff right after this message.
They built this country out of dreams.
In a few capacity crowds recently, the Denver Broncos have won the toss. Matt Barr, the rookie from Penn State, will kick off, and deep for the Denver Broncos is number 23, Chris Payne. He lines up at the 5-yard line. Barr punches it, and it's deep, and it drives Payne deep into the end zone. No, he'll stay there. Chris Barr, a 6th-round draft pick out of Penn State, showing a lot of potential. Puts it deep into the end zone, and that's where the Denver Broncos will begin their operation. At quarterback, it will be Craig Morton. We did not know until just before game time who it would be. Norris Weiss, heard in the San Diego game a couple of weeks ago. They thought he might be able to go, and perhaps he can tonight, but we are seeing Craig Morton to begin with Rob Lytle. Number 41, Jim Jensen. You had to look at the offensive line. It's a good offensive line, and they'll have to be tonight because the Steelers are fired up. They took their lumps from Cincinnati 34-10 a week ago. They were embarrassed by that loss. They'd like to get something going tonight. And here comes John Keyworth. Turns the corner. He runs into Mel Blunt over on that right side. Jack Lambert, the middle linebacker, also slipped out there. There is the front four. Here might be a problem. Dennis Winston, number 53, is at the right side linebacker for the Steelers. Now, he's a middle linebacker and a good one as you look at the secondary. But the two regular weak side linebackers, right side linebackers in most cases, will be Robin Cole and Lauren Taves. Both of them are hurt, so it's Dennis Winston who performs better in the middle. Larry Canada comes in as a setback for Denver, replacing Rob Lytle. Canada wearing number 35. It's 2nd down and 9. The ball just over the 20-yard line. Morton back, gets the protection, has the time, finds the receiver. And it's Lytle coming out of the backfield, gets up to the 25, mark it at the 26. It'll be 3rd down and about 4, picked up there by Jack Ham, one of the genuine all-pros, heading for Canton, Ohio. There's little or no question. He makes it all look so easy the way he does it. He just flows around, and he's always in on the play. Needs all active linebackers with interceptions, of course, but you know that stat, 28 of them.
Except for one thing, the man is playing with pain tonight, as a number of these Steelers are. But as you've noted, they intend to get back to form. They were embarrassed a week ago.
3rd down 4. Dwayne Woodruff comes in the secondary for the Steelers, number 49. Morton throws deep.
Ah, be doggone.
And deep downfield, he caught the ball.
Now, that's the kind of pattern you like. You know, you throw it over there in a bunch, and they can't tell for sure who you're throwing it at.
Haven Moses, I'll tell you, I'm not so sure he wasn't going for Riley Odoms.
Looked like it to me, but maybe he wasn't.
Watch it again, Don. It almost looks like the ball was tipped. Not quite, probably just over.
I thought he just kind of slipped up, maybe off. No, I think he was throwing over there. Who knows? Anyway, Ryland was right there. It's a 1st down for Denver. That's what we're going to talk about.
At the 48-yard line, the Broncos with Craig Morton. He has the time thus far on his passing efforts. That will be the question mark. He's not the most agile of quarterbacks. Bob Lytle hits the middle, and he's pounded there over the middle of the line. Gary Dunn is in there with Joe Green, and, of course, always this man, number 58. Interesting battle tonight between two of the league's finest linebackers. They, of course, are both deeply competitive Jack Lambert. A little on the quiet side would be the Denver Broncos' Randy Gradishar, but if there are two better, you'd have a hard time finding them. Second down 9. The ball at the 49-yard line. Rob Lytle, 41. John Keyworth, 32. Setbacks. Haven Moses, 25. Rick Upchurch, number 80, wide receivers. Upchurch, of course, with that blazing speed. A threat every time he touches the ball. Keyworth gets the call, has a huge hole. Bulls ahead. He has a Denver Bronco first down inside the 40 at the 38-yard line. John Keyworth, who is in there tonight starting, although he does play a great deal. He's in there for Jim Jensen, who was hurt Friday in practice. He has a sore calf, and let's look at the big opening.
I think you can see this. He doesn't give Keyworth the ball until he's really deep in the secondary, so I would imagine a lot of those reads that the defenses are getting are pass reads. That was a very finesseful move by Keyworth. He didn't try to do much except run over him, but there he was, got another first down.
Well, he went right. You saw Bill Bryan leading the way ultimately, but the Denver Broncos people will tell you forever about the year Claudie Miner has been having thus far.
At the 38-yard line, a Bronco first down. Play action by Craig Morton. Down he goes. No chance, and he could have been the most agile of all quarterbacks, and he could not have avoided Donnie Shell coming on the safety blitz.
Extremely effective defensive play. Craig had the play called, a little play fake to this side. I don't think he ever saw Shell coming. That's good defensive scouting and defensive coaching to know what kind of formation to let that safety come.
Fred Miller, the Denver coach. The Steelers know that with Morton in there, having an immobile quarterback against them, the job is to get to him as they just did. Fred Miller knows the job is somehow to protect against the blitzes and against the front four, the Iron Curtain.
Second down, 18. The ball at the 46-yard line of the Steelers. Morton. Oh, and he just does get it off in the general direction of Riley Odoms, but he felt pressure. It was L.C. Greenwood and Jack Lambert on the blitz. Greenwood 68, Lambert 58. That time Greenwood came from outside, rolled to the inside. Nobody picked him up. Morton had to hurry the pass, and in an area where we could look for Craig to try to go tonight to Riley Odoms, a gifted receiver, working against Donnie Shell, the strong safety who's playing on a very sore knee.
But you'll see them blitzing as you just did that time with Lambert, the time before with Shell, all night with Morton in there.
Third down, 18. Church left. Haven Moses right. Those the wide receivers for Denver. Morton. Odoms had the ball, dropped it as he looked around to see who was going to hit him. It would have been Donnie Shell. Fourth down. Out comes the punting unit. And keep in mind that blitz by Donnie Shell has moved Denver out of a potential field goal possibility. They will have to punt. Luke Prestridge comes in, a rookie 7th-round draft pick from Baylor, and Theo Bell drops back, standing on his 10-yard line. He's in there really because the Pittsburgh Steelers would like to have Jim Smith in there, but he is starting at wide receiver. Theo Bell takes it at the 14. And gets back out to the 20-yard line, and the Steelers will have their first possession. 43-yard kick by the rookie from Baylor. We'll be returning to Three Rivers Stadium in just a moment.
Fourth straight 300-yard passing game as he leads the Chargers against the Raiders Thursday on ABC.
The numbers on Terry Bradshaw. We know all about him. He is a tremendous athlete. He can do so many things. Brings the Steelers up. Their first possession. The ball just inside their own 20-yard line. Setbacks, Franco Harris, number 32. Hand off to Harris. He uses his 225 pounds. Bulls ahead for 3.5 yards. It'll be second down and 6. And there is the offensive unit. Starting at the other setback with Franco Harris, Sidney Thornton. Out on the right flank is Jim Smith. He has done a creditable job while Lynn Swan has been recovering for the past 3 weeks with a pulled hamstring. Swanee should be back perhaps on the second series. John Stallworth has become a really gifted receiver out on the left side. And you saw the offensive line. There are some problems. John Cole playing with a pinched nerve in his neck on the left side. Second down, 6. And Thornton, and you see the strength of this man who came up 3 years ago, and Chuck Noll said he's perhaps the best blocker I've ever seen, and he used that big power of his, 230 pounds. Bulls ahead. Picks up a couple. It'll be third down, a long 2. The ball just inside the 28-yard line. John Kolb comes out on the left side. So he stays in. They bring in now their short yardage defense. It's a long two to be in that short yardage, yet the Steelers go into it. Randy Grossman in motion. Quick toss. Franco Harris has Thornton out in front of it. First down and a bundle more. Look out.
Oh, boy.
Bill Thompson could save it. Bernard Jackson pulls down Franco Harris down at the 16-yard line, and the big man also can turn it on a third and short. He broke it.
Now you see something of the fire in Franco Harris and all the Steelers as you look at it again from the end zone. And he was waiting on his blockers, Don. That's why Jackson caught him. Otherwise, he might have powered his way.
Really were out there. Of course, you mentioned he does for this guy we've talked about so many times how fast he is. Bernard Jackson is one of the fastest guys on the Denver team. Picked it up. That was one of those short yardage situations where everything just broke open for him.
Harris also wants to prove something to the mighty Steeler fans because they were writing him off just a few weeks ago. Over the hill, they say.
Over the hill, I see.
Inside the 18, first and 10. Harris gets the call. Pecks along the line of scrimmage and gets it to the 15-yard line. They'll pick up a 3. Larry Evans in there defensively.
There's Chuck Noll. He was absolutely frenetic over the performance of the Steelers against the Bengals when they lost 34-10 last week. They went back into pads this week, back to basics. They had tough, rigorous workouts to get back to the champions that they have been.
9 fumbles.
That's right. That's what they had last week.
That is amazing.
Changes for the Steelers. Rocky Blyer comes in. Franco Harris goes out. Lynn Swan comes in. Flanked out to the right now by Bradshaw. Stallworth to the left. Second down, 7. The ball at the 15-yard line. Play action. Fired intended there for Stallworth. He's in a wrestling match out there with Steve Foley.
Couldn't shake Foley loose. He'd had him 6. Took a while to get some help over there.
It was good coverage. It was a dangerous pass, Giff.
He had to leave it in the air for a long time. Not bad coverage at all. The gain is down to the 11-yard line. Gain of 4 where it'll be third down. Call it a long 2. There's Stallworth. 31 receptions coming into tonight's game. That's the 32nd. 19-yard average. Leads the entire NFL in yardage gained receiving. And when you have Stallworth in there and Swan in there, you can give a coach a very nervous stomach. Franco Harris comes back in. Third and 2. Bradshaw. Lynn Swan, touchdown Steelers. Patented Lynn Swan reception.
There he is. He's back where he belongs. The most resourceful, the best wide receiver in football. Afraid to play the games he missed because of the pulled hamstring, a most dangerous injury that can keep recurring. Dandy, take it.
Well, that was his first touchdown of the year. The ball is perfectly thrown. Again, that is not bad defensive coverage, and it's the only place I can think of that you can throw it to catch it. But Swanee does have that leaping ability. He had to go way up high, and man, that was Louis Wright right there. And he's as good as you can get on the corner. So give them both credit for well-executed offensive play. The Steelers go out front 7-0.
Welcome back,
Lynn
Swan. That's what it says.
Matt Barr converts the Steelers are out in front, 7-0. We'll be back in just a moment.
Detectives, join your favorite night for comedy. Tuesday is Heart to Heart.
A big short yardage play by Franco Harris. A catch by Lynn Swan of a Terry Bradshaw touchdown pass. The Steelers are out in front 7-0. Matt Barr to kick off. Chris Payne. It was deep for the Denver Broncos. Barr again connects, hangs it high. Payne at the 2-yard line. And Payne almost busted. He does out to the 30-yard line. Steve Corson made the stop there for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's early, Giff, but the storyline of this game comes into focus. A fired-up Pittsburgh team determined to reestablish themselves for what their personnel potential is. The best there is at what they do. A Denver team without offense, desperately trying to hang in there and trying to muster some offense with an immobile quarterback.
On first and 10, change defensively for the Steelers. J.T. Thomas is in at safety in place of Wagner as Otis Armstrong ties the left side, gets a yard and a half.
There he is, still relatively newly married, concerned about his career openly. Had long visits with him during the World Series, and then last night at an MS cocktail party honoring Frank. And he said, I'm so worried because the hamstring injury is so recurrent. That's why I've been staying out. But now I think I'm ready. And he sure proved it with that TD catch, Doc.
Sure did.
Less than a yard picked up there by Armstrong, so second down, we'll call it 10. Flag is down, Morton is down. Jack Ham on the blitz, and you're going to see it from the Steelers all night. The blitz for the against Craig Morton. I think it's no secret, Craig is not an agile quarterback. He depends on good protection. He has a great arm, a tremendous arm, but he needs time. Again, a flag down. Referee tonight is Pat Haggerty.
You know, one of the things that happens sometimes is like word of mouth. You start talking about how immobile somebody is, and then everybody starts believing it, even the Denver Bronco team themselves. Let's see what this call is.
We have offside, number 64, defense.
We knew that, didn't we?
Steve Furness moving offsides. Second down and 5.
I can understand him being offside, Frank. He is as fierce a pass rusher as you'll want to find. And having lost his job to some degree to Dunn, he wants to make up for it in a hurry.
Ball resting just over the 35-yard line. Otis Armstrong in motion for Denver. Martin fires and he hits Haven Moses.
Look out. There you go.
Put it up on the board. Haven Moses
There you go.
spins away. Ron Johnson had a chance to collect him at the 32. He did not. Denver's on the board.
Good example of Frank's strength in his arm, as you just were talking about, Howard, because that ball was well thrown, almost 50 yards in the air, and he hit a small spot. Again, not too bad a defensive coverage. The key to me is look how much time he's got to throw. He zipped that one right in there. Really, he was bounced off. That's one of those things that happens. He shouldn't have scored on it, but he did.
He sure did. And the last pass he caught was against Ron Johnson.
He had a big one last week. Caught eight. No, that was Upchurch call. He caught 4 last week. Haven did.
So here's Denver for you, hanging in there, quickly turning the tide.
Jim Turner for the conversion. His 1,399th point of his career. Looking for the 1,400 mark. And there's Haven Moses. His 18th reception thus far this year. A big one for Denver because it looked like Pittsburgh was really going to maul them. It doesn't look that way now. We'll be back.
For Pittsburgh.
Denver answered a little over a minute. They came back to tie the score up at 7. 64-yard touchdown pass. Craig Morton to Haven Moses. Jim Turner will kick off. Larry Anderson not respecting the distance of Turner. But Turner does put it up high. This will be Anderson. And Turner gets it inside the 5. Anderson slips but sprawls forward to the 20-yard line. Steelers will have their second possession. Chris Payne down there to make the stop.
You just saw that graphic. 2 plays, Denver bang touchdown just when it looked they could sack Morton all night. Look at the difference in the respective faces of the coaches. The pictures tell the story. But you don't often see Pittsburgh scored again against that way.
I think the Denver will really have to capitalize on those kinds of moments. I don't know that they'll be able to sustain those long drives without a real good running game. They haven't proven that so far.
Thornton 38, Franco Harris 32. The setbacks, 1st and 10. Bradshaw, he has all the time he would ever want, going for Stallworth. Overthrown, and Stallworth is back there, well covered by Steve Foley, 43 for Denver.
I tell you, they talk about Louis Wright, and as a result, and Louis Wright, who's always played Lynn Swann very tough, by the way, but couldn't stop the touchdown throw to Lynn. They always talk about Louis Wright and throw away from him. But this kid Foley, as you look at him, twice you've seen him in one-on-one coverage, and twice you've seen him stride for stride with the would-be receiver.
There he is. He's a big one, too. 6'2", 190-pounder. Same size, Louis Wright, defensively over in the other corner for the Broncos. Along with Mel Blount, some of the finest cornerbacks in the game performing tonight. Second down, 10. Jim Smith in motion. Inside handoff is Thornton. And Thornton pounds out close to the 25 and knocked back to about the 23, and they'll mark it at the 24, where it'll be 3rd down and 6. Then Swan comes into the game offensively for the Steelers.
Thornton has to be a great player, Don. After all, Blyer on the bench had that tremendous game against St. Louis, and then the 70-yard touchdown run against Cleveland.
I love to see that 70. He was like outrunning everybody, wasn't he? He was picking them up and putting them down. When you got Thornton, though, back there, you got a 230-pound guy right along Franco that's 225. So you're going that big back situation, and Rocky's not quite that big.
3 wide receivers, Smith, Swan, Stallworth. 3rd down, 6. Bradshaw, a lot of time. Swan again. Oh, drops the ball.
He did.
He went up. Bill Thompson was there, but Lynn had an opportunity. And that will bring up 4th down.
I like to watch this athlete as much as anyone in sport. His verve, his daring, his courage, and look at that, the great resourcefulness. You won't see him drop 2 of those in a season.
No, he had it up on his shoulder pad and couldn't quite hold on to it. But, you know, you won't find too many quarterbacks who can throw the ball that far and wait for the guy to make a cut downfield. Bradshaw threw that thing really right on the line.
He had all the time he would need. Craig Colquitt punches it. Rick Upchurch is deep, but he lets it bounce. And it's going to take a Pittsburgh bounce. And out of bounds, close to the 20-yard line. A 56-yard punt by Craig Colquitt. 7-7, and we'll be returning to Three River Stadium in a moment.
First undefeated Houston battles undefeated Arkansas. Then headlining regional action, Florida State LSU and Washington UCLA. Check local listings Saturday.
3 minutes and 59 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Action-packed in case you've just joined us. Steelers striking suddenly. And Denver answering a little over a minute from the Pittsburgh Steeler touchdown is tied at 7. 1st and 10 Denver, the ball at their own 20-yard line. Morton with a quick roll. Puts it into his zone, and Ron Johnson was shocked. He turned around, he had it for a moment, and said, hey man, I was open.
Couldn't ask for a better pass to Johnson, could you?
No, you couldn't.
Hit him right on the numbers. He's trying to get in between. I think he's maybe expecting kind of a zone, but he was going with him all the way. You see Donnie Shell coming over to cover that deep zone.
Bad pass. If you're going to throw that pass, you got to throw it so it's going to go out of bounds high enough. You can't risk the interception.
Ron Johnson, one of those injured Steelers, returning tonight. He's been out for a couple of weeks.
Let's be kind and say so far he's been rusty.
2nd down, 10. Rob Lytle, right side. Couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Hit by Lambert and L.C. Greenwood defensively for the Steelers. Long passing situation now for Morton. And the Steelers have been almost consistent in passing situations, shooting safeties or whatever. Quick toss, and it's bobbled by Canada. Canada picks it up, and he's tripped up inside his 10. He's down to the 5-yard line. Joe Green was in there initially.
Oh, boy. Once Mean Joe had his arms around him, that was it. You see him, big number 75. Look at it again. Kangaroo.
Well, it's not a bad pitch. It just hits him right in a bad spot. Canada was looking for something besides the ball, and he did pick it up. I've seen guys after they've done that, they just can't get a handle on it. He's down right there. Big Joe's got him, pushed him back in, but now that's a very uncomfortable position for the rookie from Baylor.
Punting now, Luke Prestridge. He's in his own end zone. Theo Bell is standing near midfield for Pittsburgh. Prestridge, not a good kick. Bell at his 41-yard line. Driven out of bounds.
Good move by Canada to come down and get it.
There's Red Miller, and he was asked earlier, we did, if it doesn't give a team a little bit of a lack of confidence if the quarterbacks have to alternate.
Just the opposite. We think the players will play for whomever is in the game, and we preach that to our players, and they respond. Now, we don't have a Terry Bradshaw. If I did, I'd probably play him all the time.
That's pretty candid.
Indeed
If
it
I
is.
did, I would play him all the time.
And Terry Bradshaw has a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line of the Denver Broncos. Hands off to Sidney Thornton, and Thornton bulls ahead. Inside the 35 to the 34-yard line, a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Reuben Carter defensively with Barney Chavis for Denver.
This is an important series for the Steelers. Why? Because they were stunned by that Denver touchdown that tied it at 7-7, the swiftness with which it came. On their next series, they couldn't move the ball, 3 downs and over. Now, with field position like this, they got to move the ball from their point of view.
Lynn Swan is in. He split to the right. Stallworth goes out to the left. 2nd and 5. Sidney Thornton.
Oh.
And Thornton popped there defensively. Randy Gradishar. When you see a hit like that, you can pretty well. That's Swinson there moving in. I'll tell you, they've got linebackers. They really do.
This kid is a free agent from California. We commented in an earlier Denver game, a Thursday night game, Dan DeRue, on the number of free agents on the Denver team. At the time, it was 15. It's just incredible the way they've taken these unknowns, put them together, and turned out that swarming defense that's one of the best in football. Red Miller deserves the credit.
3rd and about 1.5 yards. Short yardage offense for the Steelers. Thornton in motion. They go with the toss that got a big gainer for him the last time. Franco does not get the big gainer. Close to the 1st down. I believe he has it.
I think he got it.
That was the same play they utilized earlier, and Franco broke it off big.
Looks like he's through, doesn't it, Dandy?
Over the hill, looks like to me. Yeah, man's over the hill. He's not big enough to play in this league. No speed. Franco really is a good one. I'm really impressed with on that particular play that time. They had really good coverage out in front from an offensive standpoint to block for him. But again, you're seeing good pursuit by the Denver linebackers.
And you just saw the 2 quarterbacks that, by his own admission, Red Miller would trade for Bradshaw.
1st and 10. The ball is at the 28-yard line. Bradshaw keeps it.
Good play.
Flips it out.
Oh,
defensively, a beautiful job by Foley. The right halfback coming up.
What a game that kid's playing thus far.
He really is. Stallworth will hear some noise about that block, I imagine, when they start looking at the film. Like, hey, what are you doing? You stand there, you talking to him, chinning and chinning?
Gain of about 1 yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Seconds ticking away here in the 1st quarter, and I do not believe we'll see another play. Let's take a look at Foley. Plays off Stallworth, as Don mentioned there. A little chicken fight going on, and then all of a sudden he ducks under it and he makes the tackle, holding that gain to 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9 when we return right after this message. Chuck Noll has Terry Bradshaw, and he uses him all the way. And right now, as we begin the 2nd quarter, Bradshaw has a 2nd down and 9. Ball inside the 27-yard line of the Denver Broncos. It's all tied up at 7. Lynn Swan is in the game, flanked out to the right top of your screen. Stallworth split to the left in the quick toss. He goes to Franco Harris. A good block by Thornton. And Harris inside the 25 to the 23. Upset there by Larry Evans. Defensively, he was playing for Tom Jackson. Jackson, who is an outstanding linebacker for Denver. He also bruised a calf or had a calf muscle injury on Friday in practice, so he's not in there.
Look at the
stats.
Couldn't be much more even. Only a minute's edge in possession time by Pittsburgh. Total yardage, slight edge to Denver based upon the passing, including that one key play to Haven Moses, the long TD.
Rocky Blyer comes in. He usually does in recent games in passing situations. 3rd down and 5. Bradshaw again with all the time you could want. Fires and it's complete. This is Jim Smith. He's inside the 5-yard line, 1st and goal. And when you put those 3 wide men in there, Stallworth, Smith, and Swan, it could be nothing but headaches unless you can pressure the quarterback, and Denver did not.
But as we isolate Smith, the whole key was what Frank told you, the time Bradshaw had. Look at that. Bang.
Again, you know, you can't ask the defensive back to get much closer than that, particularly with that kind of pattern. He's coming back across the middle. Both the defensive backs were there about as quickly as they could be. And that is absolutely right. Plus, the ball was right on the old clothesline. It didn't waver at all.
Smith has played the last couple of weeks for Swan. He has improved tremendously at 5 receptions last week. 1st and goal. Randy Grossman in motion. Franco Harris. Long lunges. He's got the touchdown.
I love it.
Serge forward. They say he broke the plane with the ball.
Well, he's all washed up.
It was our driver, Howard, that said, I don't like the way he tippy-toes.
That's right.
He didn't see him do that last-minute crawl and jump. Let's say he's down right there.
Frank and I had a driver from the airport named Nello who was filled with more knowledgeability than any man in the history of the game, since Nello Falaschi was an All-American at Santa Clara in the 30s.
That was a piece of work. Matt Barr. But the Steelers out in front once again, 14-7 over the Denver Broncos. And let's look at it again. Franco Harris looking for the opening, and then with that tremendous strength, all 225 pounds, puts the ball right on the goal line. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
No, it was St. Mary's, Frank, not Santa Clara. We'll be back in a moment.
Bell football. Dan Fouts goes for his 4th straight 300-yard passing game as he leads the Chargers against the Raiders Thursday on ABC.
Howard said at the top of the telecast, San Diego's a powerhouse. Indeed, they are. Dan Fouts, their quarterback, by the way, can be the first quarterback to ever go 4 consecutive games with over 300 yards passing. San Diego in Oakland Thursday night. Matt Barr pumps it. Deep is Chris Payne. And Chris Payne out to the 35, and a flag goes down.
Here we go with the new kick rule where you have to block above the waist.
Well, in this case, it was clipping.
That's right. They block below the waist.
Pat Haggerty.
You see it again and again and again. I just want to say this. I sure look forward to seeing the Chargers because this team is really coming on. There he is.
They have a receiver we saw last year, John Jefferson, who is absolutely unbelievable.
He's of a cut with Wes Chandler of New Orleans, Wesley Walker of the Jets.
We have a personal foul, clipping, number 50 on the return.
Now that's Thursday night.
In Oakland.
The Oakland Raiders had been coming strongly, and then in this league, the way it's constructed these days, anything can happen, and so the Jets, with Todd to Walker, upset them.
Jim Ryan guilty of clipping for Denver. 1st and 10. The Broncos at their own 13-yard line. Morton slips it out to Lytle. Running room. And Lytle moves out to about the 19-yard line. Gain of about 7. Hit there by Jack Ham defensively.
Good play. Got the yardage he wanted on 1st down.
I think one of the things you're going to see is in more plays like that. They tried the first quarter to see if they could establish some sort of run. The only time they really had it, they had a kind of a big opening over on one side, picked up a big 1st down. The rest of them were 2- and 3-yard gains. That's a good alternative. Flip out to a Rob Lytle on the outside. Maybe he'll break that one-on-one tackle. And it's almost as good as having a good running game. Almost, I said.
And always with Craig Morton, keep somebody to slip it to if they come with the blitz. 2nd down and 3. Ball at the 20-yard line. Otis Armstrong, 24. Jim Jensen, 30 setbacks. This is Armstrong. Armstrong has the 1st down out over the 25 to the 26. Dennis Winston defensively. And there on the stop for the Steelers. Otis Armstrong.
Paul Howard
playing back to those great 1,000-yard seasons he had.
Paul Howard clearing the way for him, and Red Miller's faced some criticism for using too many backs. Why not use Armstrong? Because he feels Armstrong is not in the shape he was when he used to gain the 1,000 yards. Very simple.
And off is Keyworth, and the big one goes out to the 30-yard line. Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6.
Miller Fields' offensive line has done a whale of a job this year, Don. You've talked to him. Particularly Studdard, Vlasic, Ryan in the middle, Howard, and above all, Claudie Minor, whom they claim is having a sensational season.
I think their most effective blocks, too, they're all pretty good size, are the straight-ahead blocks. And that's one of the things that I think if you're going to try to give Pittsburgh some trouble is just go right at them.
Upchurch and Haven Moses. Both split to the left. 2nd down, 6. Otis Armstrong in motion. Armstrong.
There you go.
Did he step out of bounds? Not until he picked up the 1st down out inside the 46-yard line.
And the 1st down and then some. Now that's a clever use by Miller, who calls the signals of Otis Armstrong.
Running the backs back and forth is Canada, Jensen, Armstrong, shuffling the plays into Morton. You saw Jensen come up, pass to play on to Morton. Broncos down 14-7, 11:05 remaining in the first half.
You throw that kind of pass, you can wind up with a better than 60% reception completion percentage, and that's why that kind of statistic doesn't mean a thing.
Otis Armstrong runs into the Steelers defensive unit. L.C. Greenwood on the bottom, Jack Ham on the top. Armstrong lowers his head, gets a yard out of it.
Just telling it like it is.
It'll be second down and 9.
It means that you've hit 60 out of 100.
That's right, yeah. And you can keep throwing those little hitches all day long incompletely.
An average yard per pass is always a very good measure, I think, along with those percentages.
It's a good measure of a receiver, too. Yeah. Look at a guy like Wesley Walker. He has the most amazing average yard completion.
Ball at the 47-yard line of the Broncos. Morton. Riley Odoms.
I love it.
He did a good job that time, though, because he read the blitz real well. Had Riley Odoms out on a kind of a safety valve pattern. Had Haven Moses coming down across the middle for an old standard sort of, that's how we beat the blitz. Let's throw a guy toward the post and have the tight end go to the outside. He just raised up, hit Riley Odoms. Read the blitz real well.
It might be a standard, but it's very effective. And as you said, Don, Red, if they keep coming with it and they keep picking it up and he reads it.
I don't mean I wouldn't throw it, Frank. I mean it's a deceiving statistic. You throw it to a guy like Riley Odoms, it's like throwing it to Otis Taylor or Russ Francis. One time they'll break the tackle and may go all the way.
3rd and 1. Rob Lytle. I don't believe he got it. It'll be very close.
I don't know, Frank.
It's always a difficult decision when you've got that 3rd and a long one, and that's basically what that one was. When you try to lead with that fullback to get somebody in there, or whether you just try to hand it off straight, get something right down the middle. It's also a good time to give that old, let's fake that thing, and let's try to go ahead and hit a little one of those quick passes we've been talking about.
That's right.
First down indicated. Rob Lytle picking it up inside the 45-yard line. Upchurch split out to the left in the slot. Top of your screen, Haven Moses. Moses in motion.
He's going
looking for the screen, and it was Jack Lambert who slithered out there reading the screen all the way. Morton had to throw it away.
Man, he had a lot of them reading that screen, and most of them were wearing black jerseys. There were 4 of them out there. He had Winston, Lambert, and Ham was even over there. How they all 3 get over there? Man, those guys are swift. Swift. Curley, it's all right, son. Just he's in there now. It'll be okay. Second down.
If it is, you've got news for him.
That's what he said. He says you've got a scoop.
Zach Valentine in defensively for the Steelers. And out comes one of the down linemen. See Furness coming out. Upchurch split to the left. Moses the right. Steelers thinking pass. And they're coming. Craig going for Riley Odoms, overthrows, and Donnie Shell was with Riley Odoms.
David Moses was by himself down the middle.
So Red Miller has a lot to think about on this call.
I just think your odds are so much against you when you're working, well, particularly when you work against an experienced team like Pittsburgh. You try to burn them with those real deep passes that are really a little more than just take off and let's use our speed and get behind them. These particular cornerbacks have speed themselves.
This game more than usual, a game of chess as Pittsburgh keeps changing their defensive personnel. 3rd down. Craig has the time and fires into a crowd intended there for Haven Moses, and he was really popped.
He was.
By Donnie Shell.
He was, but that was catchable.
I think it was Lambert that got him too, Frank, and I think he saw Lambert in there. You can't fault the guy really, except he is paid to catch the ball. The ball was thrown well in a very kind of a crowded situation. You'll see Lambert, the middle linebacker.
I'm sorry, that ball should have been caught.
You bet it is, but you saw that elbow come real close to the head. That's it's hard to find those receivers that can go over the middle and catch those things all the time. Believe me.
It's dangerous, yes, but as you said, they're paid to catch them.
Luke Prestridge will punt for Denver. Theo Bell at the 10-yard line. Prestridge angling for the sidelines. We watched him during practice. He's pretty good at it.
He's not bad.
This one will not be too bad. They'll step it off, and they'll mark it inside the 15-yard line. At the 13, we'll be back in a moment.
If the world, the first sin.
Taste it.
Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell and Don Meredith. Three Rivers Stadium. That's the offense thus far. Score 14-7. The Steelers over the Broncos. The Steelers have a 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line. Bradshaw is back. Screen, it goes out to Franco Harris. He makes it look awfully easy as Harris moves out close to the 18-yard line, up into there by Larry Evans. Gain of 6, it'll be 2nd and 4.
You look at the Steelers, you wonder how they ever lost 34-10 to the Bengals. They can do so many things. Stop shaking your head, Franco. We know you think you should have gotten more yardage on it, but this Denver team has great defense. They swarm, they hit one-on-one. A troubled, or perhaps not so troubled at this moment, Chuck Noll. But they can kill you, these Steelers, in so many ways.
Swan is in, number 88, flanked to the right by Bradshaw.
He's
wide open is Swan. He may be able to turn it on. It's going to be Bernard Jackson again that pulls Lynn Swan, who has been out, by the way, with a hamstring pull for a couple of weeks. He, of course, was a great track man at USC, and you thought he could pull away, but Bernard Jackson saves the touchdown at the 16.
And the only reason, in truth, he did was that Lynn is still favoring that pulled hamstring.
Well, I hope we have a couple of angles of this because I saw something going. Lynn really moved around. You're probably right. He's probably not running on a full leg. Louis Wright, right there, came up to try to bump Lynn. Lynn made a quick move, went around him. Again, Bradshaw was reading it all the way. Lynn had a couple of steps on him, and Louis Wright was there. We're back now live. Frank, I'm sorry.
1st and 10 at the 16. A 65-yard pickup. That's Stallworth, and Stallworth has the ball at the 11-yard line. A gain of 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
I tell you, they have so many weapons, you sometimes wonder what the key is to stopping this Pittsburgh team.
I think one of the things that Louis Wright's trying to do, and I'm not trying to, it's one of the, if you're trying to read Lynn Swan, everybody knows he's got good speed, good catching ability, leaping ability. They try to intimidate him. They try to come up and hit him at the line of scrimmage. Louis Wright just missed. He tried to come up and hit him, didn't do it.
2 big plays where Swan beat Louis Wright tonight, who has always matched him. Toughest man in the league for Lynn Swan, but not tonight. Not so
screen far. Again as Swan matched up with Louis Wright. 2nd and 5. Bradshaw. Franco Harris. Harris inside the 5. He has a 1st down, Steelers.
Well, he's only called 3 different plays. That's the same pass he called earlier, the first play, and nobody covered him that time, so he called it again, and nobody covered him this time either.
You saw Steve Foley and John Stallworth.
Yeah, they were having a little tussle, weren't they?
Chicken fighting there.
Is that what you call it?
No, pecking away.
I don't want to peck with either.
No, sir. You're a non-violent man. That's what I like about it.
That's right.
Easy going.
Except with sports right.
Mild-mannered sort of fellow that steps in and out of phone booths every now and then.
1st and goal. Short yardage offense for the Steelers. Grossman in motion. The toss goes to Harris. Thornton's out in front of it. Harris is in.
Good night.
They got it rolling tonight.
Steelers using all of their weapons in that drive. Their principal offensive weapons, Swan and Franco Harris.
And a fellow named Bradshaw.
Franco Harris, just knowing where he is on the field at all times, steps into the end zone. Touchdown Pittsburgh, and Matt Barr comes on for the conversion. Through, and it's good. And the Steelers have extended their lead over the Broncos 21-7. Don't go away. A lot more offense coming your way.
Undefeated Houston battles undefeated Arkansas. Then headlining regional action, Florida State LSU and Washington UCLA. Check local listings Saturday.
21-7, the Steelers over the Broncos. Set to kick off. Matt Barr, deep, Chris Payne for Denver. kicking tee is taken at the 24-yard line, taken there by Kip Lathrop. Lathrop gets it to the 30-yard line. Actually, that was Canada who brought it back.
So now the Denver problem, Frank, do they have the offense with Greg Morton at quarterback to cope with Pittsburgh's defense, get back in the game, 2 touchdowns behind? Big problem.
They're not a high-scoring team. They beat Kansas City with 24. They lost to Seattle. They scored 34 in that one, but they did lose. They beat Oakland 27-3. Those their high-scoring performances thus far in the season. 1st and 10. Morton remains the quarterback. Play action fake. Morton has the time. Lofts it up in the general direction of Haven Moses. Donnie Shell was back there flagging it.
Well, it was a tough throw for Craig under any circumstances. Don, you saw him stumble as he was dropping back.
Looked like he tripped over somebody.
Flag is down as we look once again.
Yep, he tripped over his own offensive guard there that time. That was Paul Howard. The ball was just really thrown deep. Again, you know, I think to get back in any ball game, you've got to really kind of work the ball down. You can't count on hitting the ball, a pass like you did to Haven Moses, and everybody bounced off of it.
That's right.
And go 60, 70
well,
yards.
they're defensing that. Clearly, you saw Donnie Shell back there. He covered him like a blanket. And the key receiver...
Number 70.
Number 7.
Dave Stetter, the left offensive tackle of the
Number
Broncos.
7. Key receiver in a situation like this might be Rick Upchurch, Frank.
Throw it to him short and let him run.
Try to get it to him.
1st and 20. Rick Upchurch has not caught the ball tonight. He's a game breaker if they can get it to him.
They're doubling him.
Odoms is open over the middle.
There you go.
Riley Odoms inside Steeler territory at the 48-yard line. And that is concentration because Odoms knew he was going to get hit, as he did indeed by Donnie Shell. His only thought was reading the label on the ball.
Quick little straight back pass. They doubled Rick Upchurch. Beautifully thrown ball. Hit him right in the numbers. That's not the easiest pass to throw because the guy's going right straight in front of the quarterback. If he goes to the outside, you got a bit better angle. But that was a good throw.
That's true. And in a sense, Upchurch was the key because they had a double.
They sure did.
On 1st down, the ball at the 48-yard line of the Steelers. Change of setbacks. Otis Armstrong is in. John Keyworth. Morton had his arm hit, I believe, or he decided not to go to Upchurch. Pulled it down, put a butterfly over the middle, incomplete.
He who hesitates is lost. Written about somebody.
Looked like he pulled the string on it, Don.
I think he was trying to pull it down too, Frank.
Upchurch sprinting down the sidelines. Thought that's not going to work and pulled the string and dumped it over the middle.
They had a kind of a delayed double coverage that time. They are going to. I mean, that's a smart thing to do defensively. I saw a lot of defensive change when Bobby Hayes came into the business because they got to respect the guy's speed, a real game breaker.
Hole number 22.
Oh, you bet. But you can go to somebody else there. That's what that whole thing's about.
2nd down, 10. Upchurch split left this time. Moses, bottom of your screen. Wide receivers for Denver. Could have been Joe Green is acting for the Steelers like somebody pulled him off. And it's indicated against Denver.
Now you can use it.
Might have been Paul Howard. He was playing directly across from Joe Green. He would be the right guard. There he is. Paul Howard, they'll back it up 5 yards.
He's looking older. In that league, I can understand it. Now you can use Upchurch. Lynn Swan with a happy face.
Ball at the 47-yard line following that penalty of the Denver Broncos. Single setback, Keyworth. Here comes the blitz. Go. And down goes Morton. It's Joe Green.
They're all in there, but Joe hit him first. LC was in there.
I don't think I'd ever call a pass play tonight if I didn't have a safety valve. He didn't have any that time. He had all his receivers deep.
You see the way they were dealing, though. Joe Green not coming over Paul Howard, but moving behind his right tackle, sliding along, and it takes precision effort by that offensive line to pick that up.
That too, Frank, in something that's basically illegal, but everybody kind of does it. They go in and they'll grab one of those offensive guards or centers, and kind of hold him there in position, and it appears that, man, they're really struggling to get away from that block. In reality, what they're doing, they're holding him so the other guy can go around the outside.
Third down, 23. The ball inside the 40-yard line, and Denver is not going to put it up in the air. Rob Lytle is pounded on the right side of the line of scrimmage, and Denver will have to punt.
That's exciting.
Yeah, great play. I'd like to talk to Red Miller about that call.
Well, they were in a tough situation. You're talking about a 3rd and long, but my golly, you know, how many times are you going to pick up 15, 16 yards on a play like that?
It was 3rd and 23.
Well, you do it when you're having skeleton drills when nobody tackles in practice back in training camp.
Theo Bell at his 20-yard line. Prestridge drops the ball, but there is no rush. The Steelers playing for the return. They did not even have a single man on the rush. Theo Bell is down at the 22-yard line.
Got to have somebody look like me. That's our illustrious producer, Dennis Lewin, made a good point. Should somebody be downfield, and there is a flag, and I would imagine that's what it's for.
And we have 3:50 left in the half. Plenty of time for Pittsburgh if they can get field position.
Another wonderful opportunity to run a sweep.
Ineligible man downfield.
And that will bring it back once again. There's he bobbled the ball, but there's not one Steeler. And this is unusual because even if you're going with the return, you always send one man to keep the punter honest.
That's true, Frank.
Thank you.
Well, it is.
Frank doesn't lie. No, Frank speaks. He speaks not with forked tongue.
Pittsburgh, their option was the ball at the 22 or make Denver kick it over. They'll have Denver kick it over.
Still ready, Shakespeare.
Ineligible man downfield. Number 58, offense.
Rob Nairn down there early for Denver. I think he was one of several. Jim Smith is in there now at the 32 to run this punt back at Prestridge, and that was a high center. Prestridge had a tough time with that one, and Smith calls for, makes the fair catch at the 24-yard line.
And he did right.
So the Steelers pick up a couple of yards by taking that penalty. That is interesting. That's the first fair catch, I believe, that Smith has made, what, 63 catches?
63, that's right.
He does not like to fair catch it, and it's a good thing he did because he would have really been pounded. Hustling down there was Chris Payne for Denver.
With a 21-7 lead, still in the first half, it would be a mistake to risk a turnover.
Sun got in his eyes.
Franco Harris, single setback. The Steelers out in front of the Broncos, 21-7. Steelers can maintain a game over Houston and Cleveland in their division with a win tonight. Wide open is Grossman.
Oh, boy.
Randy Grossman inside the 25, and he was really open.
I want to tell you something about that kid. He's not Benny Cunningham. He knows it, but he's a man of talent. Look at it from the end zone, Don takeover.
This is running to the left, and Terry did a heck of a job of controlling it. Look at that ball. Again, it is thrown right on the money. You were right. Grossman got wide open. I don't know how he did that. But, man, that was a good throw.
He's a master of the art. He proved it last year. That's a kid who knows his place in pro football, how to get the most out of himself, how the team can get the most out of him.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line. Franco Harris sprints to the outside, and this time he cannot get away from John Grant.
Good play by Grant. One-on-one tackle. You see the time rolling down. But the Steelers in great field position now.
Franco got a yard out of it. It'll be second down and 9. Pittsburgh, of course, got on the scoreboard early. Pass from Bradshaw to Lynn Swan, 7-0. Haven Moses been with 64 yards on a Craig Morton pass to tie it up. Franco Harris scored for Pittsburgh in the second quarter. And again, it was Harris to make it 21-7. Second down 9. Lynn Swan in motion. Bradshaw puts it in a group, and it's incomplete. Sidney Thornton was down deep. Joe Rizzo back there defensively for Denver.
Not a well-conceived situation. Looking left toward Swan, who was the man in motion. Then turning right, throwing into a crowd. Okay if you don't throw into the crowd. Don't risk a turnover now. You got field goal position. Right, Andrew?
Well, he was definitely trying to throw it to Swan, who you saw come back out to the outside. I think what Terry did, they had a good defense, a stronger defense on that side than he had expected. he did come back. Of course, you're always trying to avoid those turnovers. Those are things we talk about all the time.
On the third down, long yardage. In comes the reception unit, if you will, for the Steelers. That means Rocky Blyer's in there. 3 wide receivers. Bradshaw has Smith wide open. First down inside the 2. They'll mark it at the 1.
They're all over Swanee, and that left Smith with one-on-one coverage. It's a beautiful thing to see. Now the 2-minute warning, Frank.
It was Bill Thompson competing with Jim Smith. Thompson lost first and goal for the Steelers at the 2-minute warning. We'll be back. Terry wants the crowd to quiet. Hand off Franco Harris, and this time he slips and goes down right at the line of scrimmage.
Almost gave up the football.
He stumbled some way back in that backfield. Nobody hit him. This fell. He knows it, too. He says, oh, what is this? Goodness, goodness, goodness.
After last week, he'll be squeezing that football.
He will.
Never a fumbler. Franco Harris had his problems last week against Cincinnati. The entire team did.
Terry really is sharp tonight, isn't he?
Oh, I saw him in the final game of last season when he played just a half against the Broncos. And when he is on, it's almost unbelievable. Second and goal. Sidney Thornton. And Thornton turned to Welp. They give it to him.
Oh, man.
The goal line.
That was good defensive play. Good defensive play. Randy Gradishar was one of the guys. Jackson, you see, is very upset, Frank. Rizzo was in there.
Take a look at it again from overhead. Franco Harris into the middle. Here's Sidney Thornton. Hit there by Gradishar. Bill Thompson.
Good lead block by Sam Davis, who kind of got knocked off by one of his old men, but still got in there.
Headlines when right at the line of scrimmage. He indicates touchdown. Matt Barr's on for the conversion. Matt Barr very busy here in the first half, and the Steelers have moved out 28-7 over the Broncos. Very distinguished visitor in our booth, and he's going to have a little chat with Howard.
I heard it was good.
Okay, we have the good fortune of having one of the great little men of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Little in size only, so big in stature. 12 hits in the series. Phil Garner. Phil, again, belated congratulations for a most remarkable performance.
Thank you very much, Howard, and thanks for mentioning the hits instead of the one bad play I had in the series.
That was in the first inning of the first game, and your hands were cold.
Well, we all make mistakes, but the one thing we fought back, we played good after that, and took a lot of coming back to do.
And you distinguished yourself in this city as the people you are, with great character and grace. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, let's watch the game. The Steelers are mighty tonight. Frank?
Matt Barr hits it. Chris Payne awaits at the 5-yard line. Payne has a little bit of an opening and exploits it out to the 30-yard line, make it the 31, hit there by Theo Bell. And Denver will try to get something moving. They have been watching the Steelers move the ball back and forth. That's the scoring drive. Steelers using 2:21. Bradshaw mixing up his receivers. Glenn Swan, Grossman.
Frank,
Smith.
I got to quickly tell you before the play what Phil Garner just said. He said, this is more exciting than the series for me. It's the kind of guys the Bucks have. Great people.
It's because the series is over and they won.
That's right.
First down, Denver. Jensen gets the call, and Denver apparently feels like they'd like to settle it down a little bit. A gain of 4 by the former Cowboy that came in '77. Missed last year with knee surgery. Hurry-up offense by the Broncos on 2nd down 6. Martin fires and it's incomplete.
That was almost intercepted after it should have been completed. That's
Upchurch out there in the flat had the first down and should have held on to it, and he knows it.
He was all alone, really, Frank, at the end of this. That's Winston there trying to cover, just flips out to the outside. There's nobody really around. Craig had a little trouble in seeing him. He must have. It's always tough.
He might have, well, at the very beginning I was mentioning the fact as we look at Rick Upchurch, the one problem the Steelers really have now is that right side linebacker. Dennis Winston's a good middle linebacker. Got him out on the right side, and he really gets a little bit lost out there. 3rd down and 6. Upchurch left. Moses right. Morton. That's the fire over the on-rushing Steelers intended for John Keyworth, incomplete. Wayne Woodruff defensively against Keyworth, but it was, again, the Steeler rush that forced Morton's hand.
And a lot, they look tough tonight.
46 seconds remaining in the first half, and Luke Questridge comes out. Theo Bell drops for the Steelers. Bell about his 28-yard line. And the rookie from Baylor gets off a good boot. Theo Bell at the 23-yard line.
All right, there is Randy Grossman. Earlier you saw him make the key catch that set up the 4th Pittsburgh touchdown. He knows who he is, where he's at. I asked him if Cunningham has more talent than he.
I don't think there's any question in my mind or his mind or anybody's mind that on raw ability, Benny is just head and shoulders above me. But I think the important thing is that in football, as in everything else, it's a total package that makes up a football player. And I think I compensate in different ways so that I, can get the job done also.
Indeed he did. Remember a year ago, Howard, against Houston? 9 receptions by Randy Grossman right here.
But as I said, that's a kid who knows who he is, where he's at, what it's all about, what his place is on this team. And it's part of what makes the Steelers mighty.
Denver had an ineligible man downfield on the punt. That was declined. The Steelers have the football. That's what they want at their own 23. Rocky Blyer gets the call, moves to the outside. Rips off 4 or 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Pittsburgh with 3 timeouts. Denver also with 3.
Road to the Roses. Pasadena, that's where they want to go.
9 of 12 is Terry Bradshaw for 190 yards and a touchdown.
Got their work cut out for them. There's New England laden with personnel.
And Pittsburgh is going to let the time run out here in the first half. Pittsburgh over the Denver Broncos 28-7. Stay with us. We'll be coming right back to Three Rivers Stadium.
A member of Channel 4's Action News.
The way it was in Market Square in Pittsburgh last Friday at 12 noon in celebration of the fact that the Bucks had become the champions of the baseball world. That's Mrs. Omar Moreno. You've seen her before. Sister Sledges, we are family in the background, and above all, they are celebrating the head of the family. That man, the senior citizen, Willie Stargell. That was in the top of the 6th against the brilliant young Scott McGregor, with a man on in the 7th game, providing the game-winning runs. Stargell had done it. He is Mr. Pittsburgh. Earlier tonight, I spoke with him. And here he is, the head of the family, Willie Stargell, who somehow has touched the soul of a city. Willie, belated congratulations to you. And secondly, what has been your retrospective feeling, if any, about all that's happened?
Well, Howard, thank you for the congratulatory, and I'm very warm and filled with a lot of emotions, but it hasn't really hit me yet. I was saying a moment ago that basically I do get an idea of what we've done in terms of how the people are responding as we walk about the city. But I guess I'm sort of tired and I'm unwinding, and once this has taken place, then I'll be able to look at tapes, videotapes, and see the excitement and probably get goosebumps and say, no, I wasn't part of that. But it was a thrill and something that I'm very proud of.
One thing I think all of you should be proud of, Willie, is that the public has met you all now as people, the Birds as well as the Bucks. And every one of you, I think, cloaked yourself with dignity, with character, and with grace. Do you have such a feeling?
Yes, I do. We were flying back on the plane from Baltimore, and collectively most of the guys was talking about, what tremendous athletes that we performed against, and we're talking about the Baltimore Orioles. And we were just so proud to run up against such character in their athletes, and they reminded us so much of our ball club because we were so proud of each and one of our individuals, and as a result, you could see that in the Baltimore Orioles. It's unfortunate that it has to come as one team winning and one team losing, but I don't call them losers. I just figure that we scored more runs than they did.
Willie, thank you very much for visiting with us. It's the city of champions now. It's Titletown, USA, and you're the leader.
Where else can you go in the world and find a city with Super Bowl and world champions?
Exactly. Thank you very much, old friend.
Thank you, Howard, and everybody in America.
Willie Stargell, a touch of class. And could you believe that Don Meredith tried to steal his hat?
That is a heck of a hat, man. I like that hat. He told me he got it down in Texas.
Turner hits it for the Broncos. Deep is Larry Anderson at the 5-yard line for the Steelers. Comfortably out in front. And Anderson upended as he moves out over the 15, close to the 18-yard line. We anticipate again Bradshaw at quarterback. Franco Harris, Rocky Blyer, perhaps, and Sidney Thornton alternating. It'll be Sidney Thornton, number 38, in there with number 32, Franco Harris. The wide receivers, Stallworth, 82, Jim Smith, 86. The tight end is Randy Grossman. Benny Cunningham not been in action tonight. He was shaken up against Cincinnati last week. He has had reoccurring headaches. They said he was able to play. We have not seen him thus far tonight. Bradshaw has been using them all. Handoff goes to Thornton, and Thornton out over the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Frank, I doubt with this kind of lead that Chuck will go to Cunningham tonight. He'll want to protect him. But what do you do, Don, when you're 21 behind against the Steelers?
Well, you
pray.
No, you don't. No, I wouldn't really go that far. I think what I would do is I'd say, let's hold them, guys. Let's hold them, and score, and win. They better pray for some turnovers. One of those 9 fumbles or something showed up from last week. Maybe it was a carryover.
Thornton got 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Ball out at the 22-yard line. Bradshaw.
But he's got one so wide open. Now he threw it the wrong way.
Going for Stallworth, and there was a collision with Bernard Jackson, and a flag is down. Bernard Jackson stepped in front of Stallworth.
Well, if that's defensive interference, I might sing "The Lights Are Out" earlier than I ever have.
Disregard the flag.
Good.
Should not have been caught.
All right, thank you.
Well, that's very, very honest. Disregard the flag.
Yeah.
Flag should not have been thrown.
Absolutely.
Well, the crowd's not too happy with Bernard Jackson, by the way, is limping off. Now, he has a pretty violent collision with John Stallworth, and he has limped off the field. There it is.
Well, you can see he came down, really, and Stallworth had his legs wrapped around his, and it looked like it did turn that ankle pretty good.
Charlie West comes in defensively for Bernard Jackson. West wears number 40. Had a few years up in Minnesota, a few more at Detroit. Came to Denver only a year ago. It's 3rd down now, and 6. Lynn Swan comes in, number 88. The official reason, the ball way overthrown. There was not action between Bernard Jackson. Downfield was not involved in the play. Flag is down again. This is Franco Harris.
And that's the same play that they've run 3 times in a row. You would think if there's one thing they're going to cover at the halftime, it would be that little flare out to Franco.
Again, a flag is down at the line of scrimmage. Harris up to the 35, yardage enough for the first down. Then the offsides being indicated against Denver.
Declined.
Franco Harris not having a bad night at all. Looking for his 7th 1,000-yard rushing season. He's had 6 of them in his career.
First down.
That would match Jim Brown. He's got a whole lot of things ahead of him. He needs a little over 600 yards this year to become the 4th leading rusher of all time, passing Joe Perry. He could also move into 3rd behind Jim Taylor with a super year. First down. Ball at the 36-yard line. Franco Harris out over the 40, just moving along, gliding through there.
He really busts in there, doesn't he, Don?
They're playing. The Steelers are playing really as well as I've seen them play in a long. I don't think I've ever seen them play this well anytime, as a matter of fact. But particularly on offense, they are really clicking on offense. They've got it going. Franco's having a good night. Terry's really sharp, and I like to see Thornton in there. Thornton adds another dimension that maybe Rocky doesn't.
Harris gets 6, his 2nd down and 4. The ball at the 42-yard line. Thornton bobbles the ball.
It's one of the dimensions I was talking about.
Denver comes up with it. It's Latimer who has the ball. Don Latimer comes up with the ball, and this is the turnover that Denver, as you mentioned, was looking for, Don.
Exactly what Don suggested. Denver has to play its game and hope for turnovers.
That was Thornton that fumbled that. Looked like he never really got a handle on it.
He never did have possession of the football. Latimer, a second-year man, comes up with it, and we'll be returning to Three Rivers Stadium right after this.
Isn't it a beauty? A Datsun 280ZX, and it's all mine.
Ours. Am I glad we priced his Z before we settled for something else?
Price a Datsun 280ZX. Don't let that styling, that luxury, that performance mislead you. You could get an EPA estimated city range of 400 miles and highway range of over 600 on one tank of gas. Price a Datsun 280ZX.
It costs less than you think.
And gives us more.
Here's to good friends.
The key's supposed to be under the steps. I got it. Hey, here's a note. Gentlemen, my country estate is at your disposal. There might even be a little something in the refrigerator. Regards, Hank.
Let it be low and brown.
Low and brown.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Low and Brow.
Here's the Hank.
Wherever he is.
Low and brown.
An NCAA doubleheader. First undefeated Houston battles undefeated Arkansas. Then headlining regional action, Florida State LSU and Washington UCLA. Check local listings Saturday.
Craig Morton down 28-7. Gets the first turnover. Denver has the football at the 38-yard line of the Steelers. Upchurch and Moses, the wide receivers. The setbacks are Lytle, 41, Jensen, number 30. The tight end is Riley Odoms. Lytle in motion. And the toss goes to Jensen. Flag is down, and Jensen is down after maybe a gain of a yard.
Threw a flag at Riley Odoms, Frank. Looked like he clipped Jack Ham.
I think you're right. But while we have this instant, Frank, there's something I must say for all of us. There's a lady I dearly love in the Merritt Hospital in Oakland, California. Her name is Carol, or Caroli, as you will, Davis, the wife of Al Davis. I spoke with Al yesterday. No game matters, not against what's happened. At age 45, struck down, will get this call of the official. Struck down by a severe coronary. Unbelievable. Out of her coma now, but gravely, gravely ill. And all of us in this booth pray for her because we love her.
The ball moved back to the 47-yard line, clipping against Riley Odom. First and 25. Morton hangs it up. Odoms is open. He does not hold on. Beautifully thrown. Donnie Shell collided with Odoms. The ball came loose.
Give Shell all the credit in the world. The ball was well thrown, Frank. Good pattern by Odoms. He had it. Donnie Shell just broke it up. That's it.
Odoms holding his left arm. Stays on the sidelines.
Looked like Rob Lytle picked a man that I wouldn't have chosen over there to have some words with. I think it was Jack Lambert. We saw him slightly restrained by the officials on the sideline.
Frank, just 2 weeks ago tonight, the night before that, you had dinner with Carol Davis, didn't you?
She's a lovely lady, and as you so well put it, we all wish her very best.
Yeah, I sat right by her. She certainly is, and I'm looking forward to seeing Al and all the Oakland Raiders on Thursday when they play San Diego to get out there.
Second down, 25 for the Broncos. Craig gets out of trouble and makes a completion down inside the 35 to the 31-yard line. Haven Moses, short of the first down, hit there by Dwayne Woodruff.
Now, right there, you saw Craig Morton holding together. We have said he's immobile. That's factual. But to be fair to this man, he is a marvelous thrower, and he has had some key passes dropped tonight.
Well, he maintained a concentration there, I think, Howard, that it's easy to say that veterans have it more than the younger players, but that's really true. He maintained his composure, moved out of the pocket, and still found his receiver.
Third down, long three for Denver. Ball at the 31-yard line. And I believe Rob Lytle moved forward. You saw it, number 41. That was one movement. That hurts.
Yeah. Just as I'm talking about composure, That was obviously a different defensive alignment than what they were looking for. Craig was trying to check off, go to an audible. For whatever reason, it really didn't carry through the rest of the team. Caused some movement in that line. Clock almost ran out on him, and they were called for a motion penalty.
3rd down 8. Ball now at the 36-yard line. 28-7, the Steelers over the Broncos. Denver has the football. They got the first turnover of the game. They have not been able to capitalize. Steelers on the line of scrimmage. Morton reads it, has a man open. Overthrows Haven Moses. It could have been 6.
Oh, he knows it. Man, he had him wide open. You're right. They had a maximum blitz, Frank.
But he had it pegged. He threw, and his own chagrin you just saw on the screen.
Tough call now. 4th down, 8. A lot of yakking over there in the sidelines in front of the Denver bench. Do we punt it? Do we go for the field goal? Or do we go on 4th down? You're down 28-7, and they're going to go on 4th down. Well, Riley Odom's back in the game. The wide receivers will be Upchurch, 80, Haven Moses, 25, Odom's 88, and they have to put it in the air. The story of the night, the Steelers fired up. That's Jack Valentine, a rookie out of Eastern Colorado, and Jack Ham, number 59. And Morton is sacked all the way back midfield. That was 4th down. The Steelers will have good field position, and we'll be back in just a moment.
We turned the lights on these 40 American cars. 2.5 hours later, they all started. The Die Hard. It batted 1,000 in Yankee Stadium. Only at Sears.
From the people who brought you Die Hard batteries comes the Muzzler, the aluminized muffler from Sears. The Muzzler, only $17.99 at Sears.
Stanley makes saws to cut any job down to size. Cross-cut saws to cut across the grain. Rip saws to cut along the grain. Compass saws for odd shapes. Coping saws for curves. For precision cuts, back saws. For metal, hack saws. Stanley saws are made with tough, tempered steel and selected hardwoods. Then packed in a protective sleeve packed with information.
Stanley, we want to help you do things right.
Buy any of these specially tagged saws and get up to a $1.50 rebate from Stanley.
Sunday. No one knew why. No one could stop it. Disaster on the coastliner.
On 4th and 8, Denver down 28-7. Went for it. Downwind Craig Morton. The Steelers have the football. They mark it at the 42-yard line. Thornton 38. Franco Harris 32. Setbacks for the Steelers. This is Franco Harris threading his way through the traffic out to the 48-yard line. Gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. And right now we'd like to welcome KJCT in Grand Junction, Colorado, who became an ABC affiliate today. Welcome aboard, guys. Love your country.
Big Joe. Big Joe Green.
Really not what he was as a pass rusher when he was the first player ever drafted by Noel, but still strong. He's had a sack tonight. Terrific against the run.
He's still a heck of a nice guy.
And a football player. 2nd and 4. Bradshaw switches it off. Reads the blitz.
Hey, that's
screen to Thornton. First down. Inside the 45. He was down.
Good play by Gradishar. Man, he had a lot of help over there. Gradishar worked his way through that offensive blocking. That was a well-executed play. Really kind of a tricky one. Let's see if we can pick it up. It's going to go to Thornton.
Would that be an audible, Don, a screen?
No, I don't think so, Frank. I don't know, but look at that. Look at Gradishar play off a good block in the middle. That was Mike Webster, good blocker. He slipped in their own and stopped that one from being a lot bigger game it was.
That's right. That's the point. You're exactly right, Dan DeRue, because Evans played off that, but you're exactly right. That saved a huge game.
Yeah. The 44, first down Steelers. Bradshaw, screen to Stallworth. Inside the 35. Charlie West was groping for Stallworth's head. The crowd did not like it, and Stallworth didn't like it.
I want to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. When these Steelers put it all together, you look at a truly great football team. And you think of the team with the best record in the league, with great personnel, brilliantly coached, the Dallas Cowboys, 7-1. And you can't help but think forward to the Super Bowl and expect that these two teams will meet again. If it does happen, and anything can happen between now and then, what a showdown that'll be. Two great teams.
They're going to play next Sunday, as a matter of fact.
Right here.
Right here.
Right.
And that's going to be a good one.
On 2nd and short, Harris gets the first down, gets close to the 30-yard line. Interesting thing about these two teams, Pittsburgh is totally homegrown. They have not got a player in their roster who's played somewhere else. They either drafted them or they're free agents. Dallas has a couple. Preston Pearson came from the Steelers, oddly enough, and Seption, of course, had played with the Rams.
And the big one, the most recent, is John Dutton, who may be ready for this Pittsburgh Steelers group next week. They have not activated him yet. The defensive end they got from Baltimore.
And in the stands tonight and here to visit with us, Gil Brandt, the brilliant director of player personnel of the Cowboys.
1st and 10 Steelers. Stallworth in motion. A couple of receivers open. Grossman for one. Franco Harris totally alone down the sidelines. Of course, Terry was looking for Swan.
Sounds really weird, Frank, but you know, you can have too many guys open sometimes. It confuses you. He went out there trying to throw it to Swan.
Did that happen to you ever?
Oh, yeah, a couple of times in practice.
Only in practice.
About that game one time, Don, you hung it up in the middle, and I remember after the game, I asked you, I said, Don, there was no one near it.
That's true.
And I just flat forgot the play. I called him a huddle.
That's really true. That's really true. Well, it can happen.
2nd and 10. Thornton to the 25-yard line, a gain of 5. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Little bit of caution now in Pittsburgh. You notice, Don?
Yeah, but I also noticed that they just picked up 5 yards right down the middle, and they passed on that first down situation, and they did have a couple of guys open. I think what they're doing now is they're saying, look, we don't really have to take that many chances. They fumbled once. They had a bad game a week ago. I think they're saying, look, let's go back. Really, Lynn Swan said at the opening, let's go back to the things we do, what we do best.
Norris Weiss nursing a very sore knee, not in action tonight. On 3rd and 5, Bradshaw. Franco Harris. Down goes Harris. Defensively, Gradishar.
Oh, he was right in there. He was ready for it, read it perfectly. Will isolate. Danderow will explain.
Well, he's really the defensive leader over 60. Number 1 hits, they call it, but he's there. You'll see him trying to get some moves out there. This Gary Mullins trying to block him. Gradishar plays off Mullins, comes in and gets Franco for a loss.
You see that big bandage he has on his hand? He had finger surgery a couple of weeks ago. There it is. And he didn't practice for a week and said it was the best thing that ever happened to him. You can imagine that. He's also had a very sore toe. But he got a week off, and he has been playing superb football ever since. 4th down. Steelers will go with it. They have a 28-7 lead. Fired for Smith, incomplete.
Well,
the flag is down.
Roughing the passer.
Roughing the passer.
Oh, what a tough penalty at this point in time. I saw a roughing the passer penalty cost New England a shot at the Super Bowl in a big game against Oakland. A still controversial call. Guess it was 3 years back.
Top of your screen, you'll see it. Here comes the crisscrossing. And that's Barney Chavis, who unloaded on Bradshaw. They're looking out after the quarterbacks this year.
It's always a controversial call.
Boy, it is, because you're talking about split seconds. You're not talking about anything really big.
You got 250 pounds in motion. It is really a difficult call to make. It's moving and trying to get to the quarterback. In any event, the first down is inside the 15-yard line of the Broncos. Franco Harris finds an opening down at the 10-yard line, a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down 7.
We're inside 8 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Terry Bradshaw having a good night. And by the way, a colleague of ours has written a book on Terry Bradshaw. What's it called? Man of Steel.
Dave Dials. It's good work.
It is a good book. I've read it.
Terry, 13 of 18, 222 yards tonight. 2nd and 7. All the time in the world, he throws it right into the arms of a Denver defender. Intercepted by Bob Swinson. Touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. Denver will have the football. We'll be returning to Three Rivers Stadium in a moment.
Westinghouse developed its ultrasonic flow meters to protect America. By using sound to measure water flow, it predicted proper firing conditions for underwater missiles. Now, ultrasonic flow meters protect the delicate environment of the tundra by detecting possible breaks or leaks in the Trans-Alaska Pipeline. By innovation, a technology developed to protect America is helping protect America's environment. Westinghouse, a powerful part of your life. Introducing the 1980 front-wheel drive Datsun 310. Only front-wheel drive with fully independent suspension and optional sky roof and remote-controlled rear windows and rack and pinion steering and 31 miles per gallon. The new 310 front-wheel drive with Datsun quality behind it. To build America's most valuable cars.
A special edition of NFL football. Dan Fouts goes for his 4th straight 300-yard passing game as he leads the Chargers against the Raiders Thursday on ABC.
Thursday night, and we'll be in Oakland for that one, and it'll be fun to be with the San Diego Chargers. They have really come together. They're our powerhouse.
Two of my favorite quarterbacks next Thursday, Danny Fouts and Old Snake.
1st and 10, Denver, following the Bob Swinson interception in the end zone. Is down. You saw the movement over the left side. Otis Armstrong, the rusher for Denver. By the way, Franco Harris has recorded his 32nd career 100-yard night. Here comes the call. And the first time ever he has had a 100-yard game against the Denver Broncos.
Not only is Gil Brandt here tonight scouting Pittsburgh for Sunday's game against Dallas.
We have offsides, number 68, defense.
L.C. Greenwood.
Okay, that was the call. There's the posting of the Franco Harris achievement. But the great Tom Landry and his whole coaching staff are watching tonight. They know what they're saying. A great football team.
I think
1st and 5.
Look out.
Rick Upchurch off his fingertips. Mel Blount defensively for the Steelers was there. Rick Upchurch is having far and away his best year ever as a receiver, probably because Jack Dolbin, who alternates generally with him, is on the injured reserve with a sore knee. And Upchurch came into tonight with 29 receptions, and that's where he is. He's not caught a football tonight.
Which is part of the job Pittsburgh's doing. But this man is a game breaker. Make no mistake about it. And don't think Dallas doesn't know it.
Dallas 7-1. They're a little ahead of their schedule this year. 2nd and 5. Otis Armstrong in motion. Riley Odom has the first down out around the 32-yard line.
I think I'd use Riley a little bit more. They seem to be doubling those outside guys, whether it's Haven Moses or Rick Upchurch. A couple of times he's had some success with Riley down the middle, a couple of times on a quick checkoff to the outside. Make him cover that guy. Maybe they'll break that double coverage. If they don't, keep going to it.
You saw his career receptions. Last year was his biggest year ever with the Broncos, and he's in his 8th now. He had 54 receptions last year. And another Pro Bowl year for Riley. 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line of Denver. Here's Otis Armstrong. Armstrong, hot from behind, gets close to the 35. Steve Furness over there defensively for the Steelers.
There he is, the big man, Franco Harris. When I mentioned don't think Dallas doesn't know it, I was paying tribute to the Dallas talking about Upchurch at that point. This man having a great night, over 100 yards, 32nd time. Dallas knows every player in the NFL. Their organization is great.
Well, I think most of the folks know who plays in the league, but they know who plays better than most.
That's right.
2nd down, 8. Ball up to 35. And again, a Steeler pops off sides. And again, it's Furness.
Yeah. And
Craig had a free one and could not connect.
Had a mix-up. Haven did a turn in. Frank threw a fly. Greg threw a fly route.
Finesse, as I mentioned earlier in the contest. You saw the signal. Over-eager, no question about it. Out, injured, wanting to come back. One of the fiercest pass rushes from a small college in Rhode Island in football. Gary Dunn beat him out. And he wants to get back in there on a regular and sole basis. Thus, you see him responsible for 2 penalties tonight.
Chuck Noll, I know, is happy that they all are getting healthy. Steve Furness, L.C. Greenwood missed some games at the beginning of the year, 4. Second down, 2. Ball right at the 40-yard line. John Keyworth finds an opening, gets the first down at midfield.
Looked like Pittsburgh didn't like that. They all jumped on him.
Well, Keyworth's a deceptive athlete. In college, played many positions. We've talked about it many times before. Linebacker, tight end, running back, can play most anywhere.
Quarterback for 1 quarter.
That's true.
I know.
Drafted by Washington and wouldn't go.
You have a remarkable knowledge of it.
Actually, it's my mind is what's so really outstanding.
Keyworth is out. Jim Jensen is in. First and 10, Denver, midfield. Haven Moses in motion. Screen to Moses.
It's kind of an interesting little play. I like that.
Moses gets inside the 35, a gain of 6. Hit there by Jack Lambert. Out in front of it, Dave Studdard, first-year man out of Texas at left tackle for Denver. Got a little block. Moses moved inside the 45. It'll be second down and 4.
That was a nice individual effort.
We're in the third quarter, and it's the Steelers 28, the Broncos 7. Explosive first half.
For whatever reason, they've been able to close out Upchurch pretty well tonight.
Well, they have him over in front of Mel Blunt for one.
Might be part of it.
Riley Odoms.
I'd throw to him till the cows come home, Frank.
First down at the 31-yard line for the Denver Broncos, and we're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
You're watching WTAE-TV, Channel 4 in Pittsburgh, the city of champions.
Back at Three Rivers Stadium, 28-7. It was an explosive first half, first quarter, that is. Steelers getting on the scoreboard first. Denver answering right away. A Swan touchdown from Bradshaw was the Steelers score. Haven Moses went 64 yards. Then it was all the Steelers in the second quarter. Franco Harris getting a couple of touchdowns, Thornton another one. And Jack Ham, the all-pro linebacker for the Steelers, is having his knee investigated on the sidelines. He was there taking Riley Odoms out of bounds.
And came into this game hurt. I'd like to say a word about Riley Odoms as we look at the tackle from the end zone, Don.
Okay.
The year he was drafted first by Denver, I had the personal belief he was the best athlete drafted that year. And I think he's proved out. He's a remarkable football player. Great strength, good speed, excellent strides, and marvelous hands, and good blocking.
You have to think and hope that from that replay that Jack Ham maybe just bruised that knee. It did not appear to be twisted. He came into the game troubled with a groin pull. He's been troubled with that groin for some time this year.
Frank, I think he got kicked in the calf. I see him massaging that calf. Let's hope it's the calf muscle and not the knee.
That's what they're doing.
The first down at the 31-yard line of the Steelers. Denver's possession. They need a big one. Going deep for Moses. Picked off. Donnie Shell, who's been deeply criticized for the past few weeks. He's been playing hurt, and he's been criticized by the Steelers fans. He's been all over the field tonight. He comes up with the interception.
I tell you, they can criticize him all they want. I think that young man is one of the best. He hits like a linebacker, tremendous hitter, marvelous position player, great hands, and there you see what he is.
And we'll be back at Three Rivers Stadium in a moment.
It took explorers 3 years to circumnavigate the globe. Even the great Iron Horse took weeks to cross the continent. Yet today, people move all over the world with the freedom of the wind. One morning on this continent, that evening on another. Boeing jetliners. They've done more to jet the world together than anything ever made by man.
The world feels a whole lot better when the people of the world all get together. The world feels a whole lot better when we all get together.
big world.
See!
All the places and the faces.
Feel!
All the loving and the laughter.
Bring it all together and you'll see the world feels a whole lot better when the people of the world all get together.
Next time you take off in this small world, remember to fly Boeing, the world's favorite way to fly.
The world feels a whole lot better when we all get together.
Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell, Don Meredith at a sold-out night in Three Rivers Stadium. The Pittsburgh Steelers over the Denver Broncos, 28-7. Donnie Shell, interception for the Steelers in the end zone, touchback. Steelers have the ball, 1st and 10, their own 20. Franco Harris tacks on more yardage.
Oh, boy.
The big man out over the 35 for a Steeler first down.
Flag down.
And a flag is down. Back near the line of scrimmage. Holding, and you know against whom.
No, that's not Otis Sistrunk.
Mel Blunt, I know
Mel
him.
Blunt.
Yeah.
Number 47.
That's if he isn't the best.
Hello to everybody.
If he isn't the best, he's right up there with him.
I don't want to run afoul of that guy. I'll send Meredith in.
I'll handle it.
The left and right combination.
What was that I heard? Echo in my ear. What do you say? A little holding over there, Frank?
Holding against the Steelers. We could not identify the call. 3 wide receivers now for the Steelers. Swan is in there. Smith is in there. And Stallworth.
There's a kind of contented look on Chuck Noll's face for the first time in many weeks. He sees his team back.
Ball at the 14-yard line. Little draw play to Franco Harris. He gets some of it back, moving out close to the 24-yard line. John Grant defensively for the Denver Broncos.
It was almost the identical play they ran before that penalty, so Denver didn't have time to stop up the hole, so they hit it again.
Keep in mind what the Steelers are doing on the ground. They've been impressive in the air, but the Denver Broncos are the #1 team in the league against the rush.
That is amazing.
And that man doesn't quit. I really respect that coach, Red Miller. He gets everything out of his personnel that they've got to give.
Franco got it back to the 23-yard line on 2nd and 7. Bradshaw will put it up over the middle. Thornton has the first down at the 33.
Hey, that's nice. That's nice. Get a holding penalty. You say, well, maybe we won't make a first down. 2 big plays, they come right back and pick it up. Nothing really fancy, Frank, but I think Terry's position, no, you really can't see Thornton. He just really came out of a little setback right over the middle, did a hook up. There he is, right between the linebackers, first down.
Man just walked into this booth, looks like a Stanford University philosophy professor.
You gotta be kidding.
His name, Kent Tacoma.
Throws a baseball like Tittle threw a football.
Better. Why, you know what I mean.
Quick toss, Franco Harris on the first down.
Uh-oh.
Harris turns back inside, but he's nailed there, moving up quickly. Number 20, Louis Wright.
Franco says, wait a minute.
Where'd you come from?
What happened to that? This thing's not supposed to go that way. That Louis Wright is good, Frank. You know, to play that corner, we've said so many times, I think it really is I think it may be the toughest position. I won't say one of them. I think it's the toughest position to play well. Because you get left out there all alone so many times.
Well, he had that good training up in Bakersfield in high school, Don, before he went over to San Jose.
I knew there was something.
2nd down and 9. Screen, it goes to Smith. Smith in a big battle out near the 40-yard line, short of the first down at the 39. Bob Swinson up there defensively, and we've just been advised that Jack Ham's problem is a leg cramp. And that is good news. There's Smith. He did an admirable job filling in for Lynn Swan for the past couple of weeks. 5 catches against Cincinnati. 3 tonight. 3rd down, long 3. Ball inside the 40. They must get to the 43. Stallworth. Smith, both flank, top of your screen. A spectacular catch out over the 45 for a Steeler first down at the 46.
Hey, he really did. That was really good one. Low and away, and he picked it up.
We saw him in the first game of the season with a 21-yard touchdown catch against New England. Here he makes a diving reception of a Bradshaw pass, gets the first down. Big man can run, block, and receive, Don.
He ought to play football.
Sidney Thornton out of northwestern Louisiana. Ball at just over the 46-yard line. Bradshaw really mixing it up, hitting everyone on the field tonight.
All right, Terry, be careful, be careful.
On the sideline, wisely stepping out of bounds. Pick up a 3, it'll be 2nd and 7. Let's join Howard.
Recognize this man at age 15, growing up in Cincinnati. They called him the Whip, the image of Ewell Blackwell. Kent Tekulve, one of the heroes of the Bucks in the World Series. And I think you proved yourself in every way when in the 4th game, Lowenstein and Crowley racked you up and you came back better than ever. Wasn't that your test?
Well, I'll tell you, Howard, it was a matter of, in the 4th game I made some mistakes, and you can't afford to make mistakes against good hitters. In the 6th game and the 7th game, I faced the same guys basically, and I got right back in there. I threw the ball where I wanted to and made my pitches, and things worked out a lot better the way they usually do.
I want to thank you for coming by. We're going back to the play action. Frank will take over. My congratulations.
Thank you very much, Howard.
And ours also on 2nd down and 7. Handoff, Franco Harris gets away from Evans, straight arming Evans, moving down to the 43-yard line, gets another Steeler first down.
That was smart running, Frank. There's times when Franco uses his power and his strength to turn upfield to get the extra yard. He saw that time he was going for the first down, and he goes out of bounds. I didn't make him a bad guy. He picks up his first down and saves some of those bumps and bruises. And Howard, I want Tekulve's hat too. Where do these guys get these Cowboys hats?
I don't know, but if they put Tekulve in now for Bradshaw, it wouldn't hurt a thing.
Yes, it would. He'd be throwing sidearm off on the side over there.
What's wrong with that? If you hit,
you got those defensive linemen up there in front of you.
We saw Franco Harris breathing deeply. It's been a very warm day here, as it has been over most of the East. And here comes the reverse.
Oh, I love it.
This is Jim Smith. And Smith has another Steeler first down. They're pulling all the pages out of the book tonight.
I got to have a slow-mo of Bradshaw throwing a block. Let's hear it for the quarterbacks.
Well, he's laughing about it.
Oh, he loves it.
How about that?
All right, here we go. Little razzle-tazzle. Quarterbacks. Now, once you see that now, is that powerful? That's a powerful lead block. Well, Jim, anybody could run behind that kind of block.
That's right. It's a one-sided game, but it's great to see a team put it all together, a team this great. They are really a superb football team.
What they're doing right now is showing the people down the line. They beat Dallas next weekend, then they have Washington, then Kansas City, San Diego, and Cleveland. Tough schedule. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Pittsburgh 28, Denver 7. Will return for the 4th quarter in just a moment.
Wednesday on Charlie's Angels, Farrah's back, but on the wrong side of the law.
He's poison, Jill. He's going to ruin your life. Well, it's my life.
When she falls for the world's greatest thief. Then, a pretty girl's got something hot, and the most powerful men in Vegas will kill for it. Wednesday.
This ship is longer than the largest ocean liner. It's U.S. Steel's new ore carrier, the Edwin H. Gott. It transports iron ore to our steelmaking plants on the Great Lakes. Our facilities require huge amounts of ore, and this ship will carry 3 million tons a year. This is a major investment, but we think of it as a 1,000-foot vote of confidence in our future. Confidence. At United States Steel, it's one of our strengths.
There's a beer that's going round all the hottest spots in town. Everybody calls it Icy Light. It's really getting through to the ones who like a lighter brew. They're calling for Icy Light. It's the taste that says today. That's why your friends all say, hey, give me an Icy Light. Hey, give me an Icy Light. An Icy Light.
Israel's Foreign Minister Moshe Dayan has resigned.
And coroner Cyril Wecht has filed a $7 million lawsuit against Jack Lynch.
We'll have details tonight following the Steelers and Broncos on Monday Night Football.
Terry Bradshaw with a very hot hand tonight. He's getting a lot of support on the ground from Franco Harris and Sidney Thornton. but he's mixed it up. He's hit just about every eligible receiver on the field. Swan got the scoring started, 11-yard touchdown pass. He's hit Smith, he's hit Grossman, he's hit Harris. Stallworth on 1st and 10. Complete to Smith.
That's pretty. You remember the days when we used to talk about this Pittsburgh defense all the time, and nobody, we say, well,
now you talk about that offense. Did you see the way Smith came back for that ball?
It's almost impossible to stop.
It is, and that's the old Sid Gilman theory of offense as you look at it here. You go out in the 13 to 17-yard area, maybe 12 to 16. You come back, and there's no way you can stop it.
I just didn't realize that was Sid's idea.
Not altogether.
It sure was. Well,
2nd down and 6.
You show me a better one.
Bradshaw with a perfect bootleg.
No, he messed up, Frank. That was a missed assignment.
Right. Did he miss him? I thought he just held it.
Well, let's take a look. I don't know. You may be right, but it looked to me they missed the handoff, and the next best thing to do after you do it. Let's see what happens.
That was a bootleg all the way.
It was a bootleg.
Well, then why didn't he have somebody out there blocking for him? That's a dumb call if you're going to do all that without somebody out there to help you.
He's short of the 1st down.
You've suddenly grown militant.
I've grown what?
Militant.
No, I have not.
Yes, you have. Look at those
Overwhelmingly in favor of Pittsburgh. Total yards, 406 to 228.
And look at the time of possession. About 10 seconds difference. Always a compelling stat.
10 seconds?
It was
10 minutes, I'm sorry.
Denver giving up less than 90 yards rushing per game and have given up over 160. Thornton has the 1st down.
163.
163, that's Kent Tekulve's weight. No, he's 160. He started the season at 165.
Thornton I think, does add another dimension. I was talking about it earlier. The thing that Rocky Blyer, I believe, gave, and he still does, is that consistency. You could always count on Rocky Blyer. He's not going to make a lot of mistakes. The 70-yard run he had against Cleveland was his career high. But Thornton he's got a different kind of look. He can really do some blocks. He is a good receiver. Maybe a better overall back than
Blyer.
Rocky. Yeah.
1st and 10 at the 17. Thornton's in the end zone.
And
that's one of the dimensions. He did it against New England also.
Just what Dunn was talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, you are seeing the Pittsburgh Steelers tonight as they can play. They're a great, great football team.
And Terry laid that one again right in there. That was pretty.
He did everything but catch it for Thornton.
And I still say you don't call a bootleg with no blockers.
Don't be bitter.
There you go. Look at that ball. Not even a ripple. Man, a life where you're going to play. Oh, that's pretty.
Craig Morton couldn't throw it better.
Oh, that's nice.
Matt Barr for the conversion. And the Steelers begin to roll it up, 35-7. We're in the 4th quarter. We'll be returning to Three Rivers Stadium in a moment.
You can own number 1. The Datsun 280ZX is the most popular sports car in the world. Winningest car in its class. Fuel-injected 2.8-liter engine, 4-wheel disc brakes, full track certified instrumentation. All for thousands less than its reputation. Take number 1 off the track and you're driving number 1 on the road. The 280ZX. Just price it today. To give you the best for less.
A Super Bowl Steeler is tough to beat. But against this Steeler, I can't compete. When a Steeler gets hit, it's got the guts to bounce back. You turkey.
Uniroyal presents the Steeler Radial. It's built tough with 2 steel belts, and it's tough to beat when you look at its price.
To get to this year's Super Bowl, I'll just surround myself with 4 tough Steelers.
The Uniroyal Steeler. You want a tough tire at a price that's fair? You want Uniroyal there.
An NCAA doubleheader. First undefeated Houston battles undefeated Arkansas. Then headlining regional action, Florida State LSU and Washington UCLA. Check local listings Saturday.
And at 12:30 in the East, some of you will be watching the American International game at Springfield, at the Springfield, Massachusetts area. Then in the mountain areas, viewers will be seeing it as their second game, Utah State at Arizona State. And some of you will see in the East also Eastern Kentucky at Murray State. Okay.
And a couple of you won't even be watching.
I believe you. Bisping returning the kick by Matt Barr. Rick Moser hustling down there to make the stop.
That's an appropriate sign. It really is. Let me tell you something, folks. You're watching a team coming back to itself against a truly great defense. You can't find many, if any, defenses better in the NFL, hi guy, Sidney Thunder Thornton.
That's right.
Than the Denver Broncos had. And Denver fans shouldn't be destroyed by this because they're up against greatness tonight.
Morton remains the quarterback on 1st and 10. Fires it off to Rob Lytle, and Lytle gets to the 30. Gain of 5 before he's dropped by Jack Ham, and it's good to see 59 back out there. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
It's like Meredith batting against Colby.
Kid wouldn't have a chance. I know those sidearm pitchers. Yes, sir.
Hey, one of the teams that Pittsburgh will be meeting, and they got a tough road to hoe coming up, will be Dallas next week.
Yes, that is absolutely. You want to talk about that one?
Seeing a team on Thursday night against Oakland, San Diego, that might be moving up abreast of the Cowboys and the Steelers. On 2nd and 5, Morton unloads it, gets it out to Riley Odoms. Wayne Woodruff is there defensively, and I believe it's going to be a Denver 1st down.
You make a great point, Frank. I sometimes wonder what San Diego might have been, as great as they are this year, if Louis Kelcher hadn't been sidelined for the season. Put him with Fred Dean, Wilbur Young, the others, and that's what you'll be seeing. Less Kelcher this Thursday night. And don't count out the Raiders because of the upset by the Jets.
The 1st down at the 36-yard line of Denver. Morton with a bootleg.
That's the difference.
And in and out of the hands of Rob Lytle. Incomplete.
I understand the difference, but I also recognize the difference. There's an opportunity to pick up that 1st down on the ground, and Craig's just not going to risk it. And who am I to sit up here and say he should? But it was the kind of situation where it was that, now that was a called bootleg. Looks like we're going to get a new quarterback maybe for Pittsburgh.
Sure, they want to save Bradshaw. Coincidentally said before the game that he doesn't like to play at night. He doesn't see as well.
Who said that, Bradshaw?
Terry.
If he could see any better, there would be lights out a long time ago. Oh, he's had some night. Mike Krusik, the backup quarterback, warming up. We don't know whether we'll see him or not. Craig Morton stays on, looks over a 2nd down and 10 from his own 36-yard line.
Right in the middle.
As the time complete to Haven Moses, 1st down at the 46-yard line of the Steelers.
Now, really, truly, you're not going to find a quarterback that can throw a better ball than that ball that he threw right there.
That's true. When Otto Graham was coaching the Redskins, as you look at Moses isolated in just a second, when Otto Graham was coaching the Redskins, it was the year of Joe Namath coming up from Alabama. It was the year of Bill Munson coming up from Utah State. And Otto Graham said the purest passer is Craig Morton.
On 1st and 10, Craig will put it in the air again. Upchurch is open.
And he caught his first pass of the night.
And gets the ball at the 21-yard line, 1st down Denver. Defensively, it was J.T. Thomas. Thomas, who has been going all the way tonight in the place of Mike Wagner.
Again, nothing not that fancy, except you see Mel Blount leave him and stay in the short zone, so they're not going to double him. He goes into the inside, comes back. Craig throws the ball out there in pretty good shape. That was J.T. Thomas who came over and made the tackle.
Thomas basically a cornerback, but he has worked some in preseason after missing the entire season with a blood disorder at the safety spot. Maybe a little rusty back there. On 1st down, here comes Larry Canada. Canada nailed by Donnie Shell.
Donnie Shell, the guy who hits like a linebacker. Frank, did you notice this is the most points scored against this great Denver defense, as you look at Shell, since 1976 when the Pats got 38 against them.
And it's not over.
Good point.
Oh, no, don't be dismal.
Good point. No, they are just moving. Everything's clicking really well.
Calvin Clark comes in at left tackle, the #1 draft pick Nebraska for Denver. He wears number 73. Craig looks over, a second down and a long 8. The ball just inside the 20.
Look for Riley Odoms, and Riley's not even out on a pattern.
Rob Lytle, taken by Jack Ham, or rather Dennis Winston.
Old Dirt. Dirt's out there.
That's what they thought Denver would be doing all night, getting it back out of the backfield against Winston, who basically is a middle linebacker.
That's what I thought, too.
And they've got around to it here in the fourth quarter. Third and about a yard. The ball inside the 12.
I don't fault Denver tonight. They were against a great machine.
What do you think is going to happen then next week when the Dallas Cowboy group comes to town?
Well, I'll answer that question in a moment because my producer, Dennis Lewin, has just told me.
He is pushy, isn't he?
We're about to break for a commercial.
Pushy, pushy, pushy.
Gentlemen, tonight we're brought together here by two teams we all love. Good food and light beer from Miller. I want to take this opportunity myself to tell you, I got no respect.
Gaston, je dis saignant. Si elle est pas saignante, what is it?
Meatloaf sandwich and a light. Gentlemen, as we all know and appreciate, light has 1/3 less calories than a regular beer, and it's less filling.
But the best thing is, it tastes great.
Less filling. Gentlemen.
Hey, Deacon, pass the roll. Hey, Charlie, that's my beer.
No, this is by your Bronco. This is my Bronco.
That's my beer.
What's wrong with you guys?
Hey, Bubba, you want the peas? Ooh. Hey, you gonna eat all that? Just showing off.
Gentlemen, in closing, I'd like to think I speak for all of us when I say if it wasn't for light, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Hey, you're for power.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Three Rivers Stadium. The Denver Broncos have a third and short yardage. The ball inside the 12. They have to get to the 11. They bring in their short yardage offense. Two tight ends, Odoms and Egloff. Keyworth and Armstrong in the setbacks. Broncos down 35-7. Play action by Craig Morton.
Look out.
Hangs it up in the air. Did not fool the Steelers. It'll be fourth down and short.
Fourth down and short. Is there something you were going to tell me, Howard?
Oh, your question. Yeah. Pittsburgh or Dallas?
Next week.
Next Sunday.
Here at Three Rivers Stadium.
Well, I think maybe Dallas, after this game, will win that game. But I don't think it's relevant when they meet, if they do, in the Super Bowl. Because I honestly believe, and I can only tell it like I think it is, that the Pittsburgh Steelers are the greatest team in football.
All right, fourth in a little bit.
Craig over the top gets the first down.
Whenever you're in doubt, go to your power runner. If they're the greatest team, then why is Dallas going to beat them next week?
Because I think this is a big game, an up game for Pittsburgh.
After their game last week.
Yes, I think it's a game they wanted to reestablish themselves. I think it'll be a very tough game, very close game. I think Dallas is a super organization, brilliantly coached. But when it comes to the Super Bowl, I think this team has the greatest people in football. I think Mr. Landry, nobody respects Pittsburgh than Tom. More than Tom.
Martin gets the first down inside the 11. 9:44 remaining in the game. Down goes Morton.
Fumble.
Fumbles the football. The Steelers have it. Dennis Winston there first. From his outside linebacker position.
Turn out the lights. The party's over.
Yes, it is over. I think what I really mean is it's impossible, as you look at this again, for human beings to be this much up every week.
And they're tough tonight. They really are tough tonight.
That was Jack Ham on the recovery. We wanted to hold off. When you see him in the area, he usually has the football.
Who was it that knocked it out?
Dennis Winston.
Winston knocked it out.
First and 10, the Steelers with the football at the 21. Rocky Blair gets the call, and Blair out over the the 25 to the 26, a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4, and Mike Kruzik is the quarterback now for the Steelers.
Good Lord, Bob Uecker's back.
Halloween, it comes early to Pittsburgh. Kruzik, 3 of 8 this season in relief of Bradshaw, has never thrown a regular season touchdown. Started 6 games. When he was a rookie some 4 years ago, he won every one of them. Did not put the ball in the air that much. Other running back is number 27, Greg Hawthorne, a rookie out of Baylor, number 1 draft pick, and that's Hawthorne.
I'm glad you folks got a chance to see Greg Hawthorne, the number 1 draft choice, as Frank said, out of Baylor. This is a terrific runner. He saw a lot of service early on until everybody got well again. But he's more than just a great runner. He is a superb lead blocker, and he has good hands, Don, can catch the football coming out of the backfield. He's what you described in Thunder Thorpe.
He weighs 225 pounds. He's 6'3".
He was hurt in training camp, too. Up. A little movement over here by Grossman.
Movement on the right side. Could it be Randy Grossman reacted to a Bronco movement?
One of the early press releases on Hawthorne, that he really was having a little difficulty in adjusting to the system. He did get hurt early in training camp. Didn't get that early development that the young players need.
Encroachment, number 84. Ball against Grossman. The injury he had in training camp was not the injury that he suffered a year ago when he had a broken hip rim as a senior at Baylor. He did not play much of last season, but he had an incredible junior and sophomore year there.
Did you see what Baylor did to Army, Frank? 55-0. And remember, Alabama was good enough to beat Baylor 45-0. And Jackie Sherrill, coach of Pitt, came in to see us tonight in the wake of his great victory over Washington.
5-yard assessment. Down remains the same. 1st and 15, the ball inside the 30. Rocky Blair, single setback. Kruzik. And this is Hawthorne.
Told you he could catch, Don.
And the rookie has a first down after the 47-yard line. Hit there by Joe Rizzo.
I thought they might throw a flag and say, all right, who do you want to throw it to? There was nobody back there close to him. Got good protection. Hawthorne ran all the way across the field. Finally opened up late. And you're right. Kruzik can throw that ball. But I guess it's a pretty good time to point out what Coach Red Miller said. If I had Bradshaw, I'd start him in every game.
That's right.
Kruzik had a remarkable collegiate career for Boston College. By the way, my daughter will be graduating from there in January.
Congratulations to Vicky.
That's right.
He set an NCAA record up there of 67.8% completions. Right now, he hands off to Rocky Blair and blocking. It's about 6 to the 47. It'll be 2nd and 4.
They have so many weapons. They give you the feeling they can do whatever they wanted to. There are 2 super organizations in this league. You're looking at one of them, the Pittsburgh Steelers, under Dan Rooney and Chuck Noll. And the other one, of course, the Dallas Cowboys under Tex Schramm and Gil Brandt, who's here tonight, and Tom Landry. I tell you, when those 2 teams meet up, you're seeing the best that football can possibly offer. Unless San Diego or New England intercedes.
Well, there's always some exceptions to everything.
Charlie West left the game. Earlier, Bernard Jackson left the game for Denver. Chris Payne is in. Handoff goes to Hawthorne. Hawthorne close to a first down.
Otis Armstrong, a great, great football player who has not been himself since a whole series of injuries. And the forlorn look on his face kind of sums up tonight. Denver will be back.
You know, if I were Denver, I think I could have kind of almost anticipated this. You don't want to come in and play Pittsburgh after they've had a game like they did last week against Cincinnati.
That's right.
So they caught them on one of their moves really up. And that's the nice thing. These guys know they're a lot better than they were last week. And they're really proving it tonight.
3rd and about a foot for the Steelers. Grossman in motion. Blair.
Might be a fumble the way everybody's jumping in there.
Everyone was groping around. Denver says they have the football.
And I think they do, yes.
And coming up with it is Bruce Bradford, a rookie from Grambling. Let's
What
take
a
a look.
night. All right, Rocky, what happened? Let's see. He's got, oops, he never did have possession of it, it seemed like. He dropped it right to the line, fell under somebody, and you got it.
And we have 6:29 remaining in the fourth quarter. And we're going to see Craig Penrose for the Denver Broncos when we return in just a moment.
Penrose.
Do you believe I forgot to change my antifreeze? You know how embarrassing it is having your tow truck towed? You should have kept your guard up.
Get it, animal.
Fat chance, Slim.
Should have kept your guard up.
Keep your guard up with Dowguard Antifreeze. Dowguard protects against freeze-ups, boilovers, rust, and corrosion all year round. Dowguard Coolant Antifreeze.
Bobbitt, I think you got him. Just remember, keep your guard up.
Hey, hatchback, you got most valuable.
That's you, 210.
Datsun 210 hatchback. You'll call it most valuable. Hey, it ran for a big 31 miles per gallon. Tough city driving. Datsun 210, our #1 gas mileage car. It's money in the bank, not in the tank.
What's the secret of your success, Dodson?
Yes, we are driven to build America's most valuable cars.
The 1980 Winter Olympics this February, exclusively on ABC. Can America's Jim Denny win the gold at home?
A former NCAA passing champion is in the lineup at quarterback for the Denver Broncos, Craig Penrose. That will tell you that Norris Weiss obviously was not ready to play tonight, or he would have come in relief from Morton. The Broncos had the football, the ball at their own 43-yard line. Penrose right to the air. Riley Odoms, and Penrose connects inside the 30-yard line at the 28, and Donnie Shell makes the stop. Craig Penrose, in 16 games that he has played in his career, a little over 46% passing, 5 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
And the way Shell made the stop, you had the feeling that he felt that'll never happen again. If I have to kill.
Oh, no, he didn't mean that. Let's go ahead.
Zachary Dixon is in there now, number 31, a rookie from Temple for Denver as a running back, with John Keyworth. And this is Dixon. Dixon maybe ekes out a yard. Dwight White is in there now defensively for Pittsburgh. He's in on the stop.
You mentioned Temple to me, from which Dixon gravitated. Jackie Sherrill talked to me at halftime about Temple. He said they've got some football team and people don't realize it. And I got heat because of the game they played against us. Look what they did to Syracuse. He's got a point.
A moment ago, you saw Charlie West leave the field for the Denver defense. He apparently just shaken up. He should be able to return to the action. We've been informed. Second down and 9. Penrose gets the blitz.
That's
throws
a good
it
throw.
right to Jack Ham, his 5th interception of the year.
That is amazing.
Now, what if Jack Lambert that is? I said Jack Ham, I meant Lambert. That's his 5th interception.
Well, he was the only guy within a 20-yard area from where that ball was. Had a good rush, had a good blitz coming in from the safeties. You see he's under a lot of pressure, trying to get rid of it. And man alive, that's right there in the middle. Big Jack got it.
Still live from Kent State University, Jack Lambert. What a player.
He really gets into a game, too.
He does. Says put skirts on the quarterbacks.
Even his own teammates stay away from him. On 1st and 10, Greg Hawthorne gets the call, gets inside Denver territory at the 47. Gain of 4, it'll be 2nd down and 6.
We're inside 5. We're down to 4:40. As you look at it there, thereabouts, and counting down.
It was all Denver, rather all Pittsburgh from the very beginning. They exploded offensively after coming off that humiliating performance last week against Cincinnati, taking nothing away from Cincinnati, but when you turn the ball over 9 times, you should win.
Denver's touchdown should never have happened, as a matter of fact.
64-yard true. Haven Moses bounce off. Hawthorne gets to the 40. Another Pittsburgh 1st down.
Hey, you folks, watch this 27 Hawthorne. We told you he could do it all. He's a great lead blocker, great hands, can catch the football. He's a great runner, and he is destined to be a long-term star, barring injury in this league.
Looks like he's limping right now.
Yeah, barring injury.
That's right. Well, it's nice to have guys with this kind of talent that sit on the bench, and you can spend 2 or 3 years trying to figure out when they're going to get in the main action, because you know he's got some talent.
Hawthorne comes off. A rookie from Temple comes in. That's Tony Anderson once again. Anderson gets the call, and it's close to the 35-yard line.
On that one play, he showed you a little something, didn't he, Don?
Yes, he did.
Rick Moser is also in there offensively now. Former Scarsdale High School product.
I knew you were going to say that, Frank. I knew that.
Of course. Why not?
Play with Jeff or with Kyle? Who was
He played under
Jeff
a great high school
Gifford.
coach named Ron Bashir.
That's right. And Jeff Gifford, one of the great players in the history of Scarsdale High. Let's tell it like it is.
Actually, Rick played with Kyle. They won their championship. 2nd and 5. Well, oh, little fisticuffs going on here.
Forget it. Everybody was off balance on the play.
Well, let's just throw up a flag and fight for a while.
With 2:36 left.
Ted Peterson getting into it with John Grant.
2:35 left, Frank. A 35-7 score.
When I conduct offense and defense.
See that?
Both were bad boys.
Things can deteriorate.
I've noticed that. What do you think, Mike? Piece of cake, isn't it? Hey, man, 35-7. I can do anything I want to. It looks all right.
I'll tell you, it was 3 years ago when Bradshaw was hurt. This young man came in as a rookie. He started 6 games. They won all 6 of them.
He did some job.
Rocky Blyer comes in. Rick Moser comes out. So is Tony Anderson, 33. Rocky Blyer, number 20. Setbacks for the Steelers. 3rd down and 4. The ball at the 34-yard line. Theo Bell is also in, number 83, split to the left. And this is Anderson, the rookie from Temple, gets inside the 30, and he has another Steeler first down.
Told you Temple had some team, and they have had good teams before.
Anderson, off by Radishar, Brent. First and 10.
Seconds ticking away towards the 2-minute warning.
Pittsburgh ball.
Mercy, mercy, mercy.
Well, the Steelers will increase their record to 6-2. They'll have a full game lead over the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Oilers. They both have 5-3 records. We have 2 minutes remaining, and we'll be returning to 3 River Stadium in a moment.
At the 1904 World's Fair, Harvey Firestone received a gold medal for his tire. But to Harvey, the real proof that he was building a good tire was people were buying it. Just about every car on the fairground was riding on Firestone. Today, the Firestone 721 is being proved the same way. American drivers have bought over 20 million 721s. You know, Harvey always said, give people a good product, and they'll buy it.
Bruce Jenner for the Minolta XG1.
The Minolta XG1 35mm is so automatic, I can keep taking pictures while my friend Jeff kicks the ball from sunlight to shadow. The XG1 changes the exposure not just automatically, but continuously. Minolta's continuous automatic exposure system helps give you pictures you never thought you could take at a price you never thought you could afford. The Minolta XG1, the automatic choice in automatic cameras.
An NCAA doubleheader. First undefeated Houston battles undefeated Arkansas. Then headlining regional action, Florida State LSU and Washington UCLA. Check local listings Saturday.
Mike Kruzek out of Boston College is wrapping it up for Terry Bradshaw. Bradshaw with a tremendous night. Kruzek now working against the clock. He's 2 for 2, as you saw. And there is Terry on the sideline. 18 of 24, 267 yards, a touchdown.
Can't see
and
it.
just good generalship. Screen to Smith. And Smith is taken out of bounds. Stopping the clock with 1:55 remaining in the game after a pickup of 4.
I want to see Pittsburgh play Dallas when all the chips are down. What a game that'll be.
They did. January 35-31.
Just a touch of offense, right, folks?
You know, Terry
over 500 yards.
Terry had 200 yards passing just a little after the first quarter. And then they kind of eased off a little. I think he ended up about 265 or something like that. Not bad.
2nd and 6, the ball just inside the 24-yard line of the Denver Broncos. Tony Anderson, and the rookie from Temple gets the first down. He really accelerated. Banging inside the 15, down to the 12.
Where do they find these guys, Don?
Well, that one they got from Temple, the other one they got from Baylor. But the thing I think to keep in mind, basically, is that if you're on defense and you're sitting there and it's 35-7, I don't care what kind of competitor you are, it's just a little hard to get it all put together. So I always kind of got upset when these young guys would come in, particularly those young quarterbacks, you know, after you just played your tail off all that, and everybody things seem to go real well. But they're not going to win this ball game. Denver knows it. It's hard to keep it up.
Answer to the question, Tony Anderson was a free agent from Temple. He gets the call again. He runs with a little bit of an abandon, I'll tell you that.
He sure does. And what Don said was very true. But you've got to remember this. Hey, Joe Green's doing an interview while the game's in progress.
Yes, and then I wrote.
Yes.
Those are not our cameras.
It's not ABC. Because that could get Edie Collins. Totally false. However.
2nd down and 8. The ball inside the 10-yard line. Crowd wants the Steelers to score again. Seconds ticking away. 30 seconds remaining in the game. Anderson, they'll get the score. Oh, you got to spike it.
Oh, boy.
And they are beating a team of pride, a team with great self-respect, a team with one of the best defenses in the NFL. Look at this again.
Boy, is there a hole up there? Charlie West, we mentioned, got hurt earlier. He got blocked out. That was just some kind of hole in the middle there.
Hey, I like the way he runs.
I do, too.
They may be letting up a little bit on Denver's side, but he really opens it up with good speed. Matt Barr, once again, he's exhausted tonight. To the uprights. Steelers 42, the Broncos 7. Tony Anderson has just ripped the #1 defense in the NFL.
Zenith announces the most amazing video recorder yet. The new video director with Speed Search. The special Speed Search picture moves at about 10 times normal speed. It lets you speed past what you don't want to see and lets you stop right at what you do want to see. You also get stop action, reverse, and lots of other new features, including 5-hour recording time. The new video director, the most exciting video recorder yet, from Zenith.
In business, the more efficiently you use your time, the more money you make.
Time is money.
So if you're spending hours dictating letters to far-off places, and hours are spent typing them,
I've got other work to do.
Kick the letter habit. Pick up your phone and give them a ring. The phone turns your time into money.
There he is. There he is, the free agent out of Temple. He's on the special teams. He'll be there for a while. But he has looked impressive tonight.
A man named Wayne Arden has to be enjoying this.
Denver has their own Temple product as we look at Chris Payne. Denver has Zachary Dixon, 11th round draft pick running back.
Frank, we're about to run out. There's something I'd like to say to the people of Denver. Yours is a fine football team. What has happened tonight can happen in football. Pittsburgh is a truly great football team when they put it all together. And you have seen that in action tonight. The man you're looking at, Red Miller, he's as good a coach as there is. He's a gritty, intelligent man, filled with character that he imparts to his team. But tonight, no chance.
And now we can all go back to Denver.
I'm sure glad you covered us there.
1st and 10, the Broncos. They caught a hurricane tonight. Craig Penrose lays it up.
He's out of
bounds. To Zachary Dixon. He is a rookie from Temple.
One more time. Oh, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
And they bring it back.
Hey, Frank, who's the executive producer of this game?
As always, the executive producer of ABC Sports is Ron Arley.
Okay.
ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, produced by Dennis Lewin, directed by Chet Forty, technical director Bill Morris, associate director Rob Biner, technical manager Coach Coltrane, our unit manager Irma Norris. That reception by Dixon, out of bounds. Second down and 10. 13 seconds remaining in the game. Penrose.
Penrose Lane. Life is pretty in Penrose Lane.
They all had a shot at it. It was intended for Vince Kinney, incomplete. 5 seconds remaining.
Oh, Curly, I'm so sorry for you, buddy. Tomorrow is another day.
He's been there.
Yeah.
And he'll have another big day along the line.
Yesterday's but a dream, and tomorrow's only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and each tomorrow a vision of hope.
Sing like going home, my darling.
Who's that?
All right.
Willie Nelson?
No, that's out of Leaves of Gold.
Thought it might have been from the Times.
Could have been. Yeah, my time.
3rd and 10.
That was good, Shake.
Penrose. This is Canada.
We've always got that old flare back to go to.
And that'll do it. Time has expired. Once again, the final score, Pittsburgh 42, Denver 7. Be sure to join us this Thursday for a special edition of ABC's NFL Football. The San Diego Chargers against the Oakland Raiders from the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum in Oakland, California. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. More people fly United to Hawaii than any other airline. This has been a presentation of the leader, ABC Sports, bringing you exclusive coverage when the world comes to America this February for the 1980 Winter Olympics.